なんかトゲがないですかね、これ。
見どころを知りたいよね。
What is drifting? Drifting is the art of making a car go sideways. Born on the winding mountain roads of Japan in the 1970s, enthusiasts would compete in illegal time trials called toge. The drivers became known as the Zoku and were soon renowned for their daring maneuvers as they danced cars down the public roads in an effort to score the best time. Over 40 years, the discipline has evolved from a time trial to a precision driving display. It is now hugely popular, and the events are no longer run outside of the law. Having become a national sport in Japan, drifting is now crossing borders and winning millions of fans around the world. The most famous of the Zoku is Kishi Tsuchiya, nicknamed the Drift King. In his youth, he looked up to the great Kunimitsu Takahashi, a hero of motorsport on 2 and 4 wheels, who inspired a love of drifting in the young Tsuchiya with his spectacular car control. Determined to make his dream a reality, Kishi Tsuchiya organized the first event devoted entirely to the drift in 1988 with the backing of auto magazines. The public responded with great enthusiasm, and where the spectators go, the sponsors follow. Professional drifting was born. Drifting is a technique where the driver intentionally causes the car to oversteer by braking the traction of rear, or sometimes all 4 tires, while maintaining control all the way around a corner. There are typically 2 sessions at a drift event, individual runs called solo, and the finals are tandem runs referred to as battle. Drivers must slide their cars through a designated course while they're judged on their speed, the angle of their drifts, and of course, their overall driving skills. Clipping points are marked on the circuit, and drivers must slide the rear wheels of the car through them to score maximum points. On tandem runs, drivers must also take turns leading and chasing, with the lead car following the qualifying line, and the chase car mirroring the driver ahead. What's more, the second car must try to stay as close as possible without making contact. A majority vote from the judges at the end of each battle is needed to proceed to the next stage of competition. The sport is currently spreading rapidly around the globe and has already become massively popular in North America, Australia, Asia, and Europe. At the top levels of competition, the D1 Grand Prix Series in Japan was the first major championship to be organized and remains one of the top drifting arenas. Drifting is becoming the chosen motorsport for the PlayStation generation because it is perhaps the most exciting way to express yourself behind the wheel. The huge range of skills needed to compete at the top creates a thrilling show for the fans, and the result is a spectacle to rival any other sport on the planet. It is also very popular as an amateur discipline, and while it looks complicated from the outside, anybody can learn to drift. All you need is a rear-wheel drive car, a circuit, a passion for driving, and a lot of practice. Drifting is one of the most exciting ways to enjoy motorsport. The thrill of balancing a car on the edge of control is unlike anything else. Want to drift? Contact your national sports authority.
My name is Arkady, I am from Russia, and this round I try to win.
So I'm Yves Meyer from Switzerland. I'm very excited to be at the home of drifting in Japan. Let's go for it.
皆さんこんにちは、ラビー西田です。I'm Robbie Nishida. Welcome to the second annual FIA Intercontinental Drifting Cup. This is a time that everybody's been waiting for. This is a big leap for drifting. Let's see who's going to take the top spot this weekend. Check it out. 見逃すな。
So we're here at the FIA Intercontinental Drift Challenge with Tangu Jan. Lovely to meet you. Just here to ask you a few questions about the event. How does it compare to your events at home, and what's your expectations of being here?
Well, I mean, we used to have the World Championships D1 back in 06, 07, and then Red Bull in 08. So it's great to have like an international drift cup, if you want to call it. So it's good to be back. Yeah.
Get all the guys together again.
Yeah,
racing.
correct, definitely.
Perfect. So who do you think from that is your biggest challenge here today?
It's the Japanese home ground, and the Russians are super strong. So I think these two guys are the ones to look out for.
You got any names for me?
I can Gotcha for sure. You're talking about Kawabata, really good.
Yeah. And you're here driving Saito Daigo's well-prepared JZX100 here.
Yes, we're doing D1 China this year, so the schedule's so tight we couldn't ship our car over, and we thought if we were going to come out here, better come out with a good car. I was quite surprised. I mean, the first time driving it took me 3 laps to get used to it, and it's so easy to drive, and it feels like a Sylvia. Just that the wheelbase is a bit longer, but other than that, it's really easy to drive. I was quite surprised.
Well, the Japanese say that 3 laps is a sign of a true professional, so that must be the case in this instance. So we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Good luck with the event.
Thank you.
And thank you for your time.
No worries.
Thanks. Okay, so we're now meeting up with Ponsan from Bangkok in Thailand. Pon, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hajimemashite.
Hajimemashite.
Hajimemashite. So, how are you doing over here in Japan? What's your feeling about this event? Are you excited to be here?
Yes, with this event, FIA, every country come to here, very hot spots. I want to put very good drifting show for everything.
A good international competition.
Yeah, cool.
And how is your car running here today? I see you're in a GT86.
Yes.
So what's the engine inside?
This year I use in 86 and engine GTR engine. We are Bua up HKS 451. Yeah, about 1,000 horsepower.
1,000 horsepower.
Wow.
1,000 horsepower.
Very big car.
So with all this power, who do you think will be your biggest competition? So your #1 battle?
Today, very Goja in Russia, where Goja Lugaja, very good diver, and Kabata-san, Fujino-san, very good diver.
The best twin battle.
Yeah.
Chuiso-joto ne. Chuiso-joto. So good luck today.
Yeah.
Have a lovely time at the event, and thank you for talking to us.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
So we moved along, and we're here with the 2 times 2017 and 2018 Russian Drift Series champion, Gotcha, from Siberia. How are you doing today, and are you enjoying the event?
Yes, sure, I'm enjoying the event. Nice to see many international drivers, many Japan drivers, big event, good experience. Yeah.
So who do you think is your biggest competition? Who would you most like to beat today?
In Japan, all driver big challenge for me, because everybody very high level driver, and interesting to drive with that. Very fast switches, fast initiation, everything good.
Everything's high level, yeah.
Yeah, I like Japan style. I build my car with Japan style, and I try driving same.
Okay, so about your car, you can see it's a Nissan S15. What's the engine inside, and how much power do you have?
Yes, this is S15 SR20 engine, V8 head, 700 horsepower, Borg Warner turbo, Mali pistons crankshaft. I like my SR because car very good handling. I try use Silvia with another engines, good power, good torque, okay, but handling so-so. And I keep my engine every year growing up a level to build the engine, and I'm happy to be there with my SR.
Well, I'm a big fan of the SR and I'm a big fan of the car, so we wish you the best of luck in the competition, and we'll speak to you afterwards. See you again soon.
Thank you.
Now that all the drivers are warmed up and it looks like everybody's dialed in, let's not make you wait any longer. We're going to go straight into qualifying, which is going to determine the lineup for the later battles that we have today.
Okay, and we are back at the FIA Intercontinental Drifting Cup. This is our first battle. Gotcha versus Louis Gono. This is our first battle of the top 16. Gotcha in the lead position. Louis Gono, as you can see, the conditions have changed very dramatically. It was dry before, and now we have a full wet, currently raining condition here at Odaiba. This is really going to change the conditions for the battles coming up.
Well, we also need to say that both drivers had possible to check the grip level on the track, so they are not completely blind going for that first battle.
It has also been raining consistently, so the track is quite wet right now. And we'll see, it will be interesting to see how each racer is able to deal with this.
Yeah, drifting in the wet is a completely different thing to drifting in the dry, especially when you have a concrete wall on the outside of the course like you do here at the FIA IDC. So let's just replay Gotcha. Looking pretty good all the way around.
And also, what we can see here is completely different line by both cars. That's why the second car was able to close that much here, where Gotcha is like taking big angle and wider line, and he was taking like shallower angle and way more inside line, so that's why he was coming so close at that point.
Yeah, Louis Gono taking, as you said, a very different line, as you can see there, right up the inside. He's doing this in order to try and catch up with Gotcha, but that is not something that will be rewarded by the judges. They really want to see drifting more like the lead car. Okay, we're going to change
And here's the next one.
We're going to change positions this time. Louis Gono will be leading. Gotcha will be following.
Also, what is needed to be mentioned is that white line, which is on the start, cannot be crossed by any of the car. If it happens, it's incomplete.
So there you go. The cars need to stay within the white lines for the entire course. A big ask in these very wet conditions. The transition back, Gotcha right there with Louis Gono the whole way around. Very slick wet conditions. It's been raining consistently for the past hour or so. Just gently raining, enough to wet down the surface, not enough to make it a full wet condition.
Like Gotcha had like really hard work to do, because to be following that slow driving is very, very hard. So I think that also judges will take that for him, because he was like doing actually a very good job there.
Now, what's interesting is the rankings of these two drivers in the solo runs, where Georgi Gotcha was, of course, first place, and Louis barely made it in 16th place. So basically it was first place versus last place we just saw.
Yeah, that's the way it works in these top 16 tournaments. You have first versus 16th, second versus 15th, etc. It goes through down to the middle. So it's a system that's been used for drifting competitions for quite a while now. It seems to work fairly well. Of course, what you want with drifting is in an ideal world, much like in racing, you want qualifying to reflect the actual results.
And all three judges have gone in favor of Georgi.
So the first Russian driver through to the top 8, or the best 8 rather.
Well, it's hardly a surprise, is it?
Why is that?
Well, I mean, chalk and cheese.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was a good effort by Louis, but yeah.
But
Gotcha
is just way too strong.
He is a very strong driver, very aggressive. His car been set up to suit his driving style. He also knows how to drive it. He's been at this venue before about 3 times. I think he's competed in the FIA last year, but also D1 Grand Prix before that. He's been here enough now. He knows what he needs to do, and that just shows.
What is also needs to be mentioned for those of you who are not used to the rules of drifting, for the battles, the lead car is running the qualification lap. What we saw earlier, trying to run like 100 points qualification lap. When the chase car is trying to copy, to mimic completely the movements of the leader, and also trying to be as close as possible. In the leading position, if the car will try to evade, just try to run off using shallow angle, really inside line, it will be punished by losing points. So the gap is not the main thing what you need to see, but or look. You need to look more if the leader is fulfilling the qualification standards of this track, and if the chaser is completely mimicking it.
So as our next 2 Russian drivers head out onto the track, Arkadi's GTR.
Actually, unfortunately, what we will not be able to see is more than 1 Russian in top 4.
Right. Why is that?
Because of the chart.
Yep.
Oh, I see. I see what you're saying.
Gotcha.
We have Ilya versus
like
Arkady.
Elimination of 1 Russian, so then it will be winner of this battle will go against Gotcha.
That's really unfortunate.
We will not be able to have all 3 Russians move on to the top 8.
Which is, I was talking to Arkady last night, and that's what he wanted to. That's what he wanted to see.
All 3.
All 3 Russians in the finals.
Oh.
So we won't, because of the arrangement of the battle tree, we won't be seeing that, unfortunately.
That's correct. But still, impressive achievement by both Arkady and Ilya. I mean, especially Ilya. He was in the top spot for a short while.
Yeah. That car seems very well suited to this particular layout. Great response on that Boss kit S14 Silvia. And here they are lined up on the track. So one of these will go through to the best 8.
It's funny how this Bosket S14 looks huge against the Skyline.
It does.
Normally it's opposite.
You're right. Normally an S14 next to an R34 would look tiny, but now it actually looks about the same size. So the winner of this battle will go up against Gotcha. So we're going to have a Russian. So we're going to have Russian versus Russian battle, and then first battle of the best 8.
So ultimately, only one Russian is going to make it to the semifinals and hopefully the finals. Okay, and our next tournament is Russia versus Russia. Ilya Fedorov versus Arkasha.
Let's send them down the track in these wet conditions. Both of them did have a practice lap. We've given all these guys 1 lap to test the track surface. Here we go, up through the gears. Ilya in the lead position, throws it in. Arkady a bit shallow in angle.
He chose like very inside
like
line.
blue.
This is very dangerous. You know, if you take that line, you need to be very careful with the speed.
Yeah, Arkady not being cautious at all. He's throwing it as hard as he can up against the door of Ilya, taking the inside line, but keeping the same angle. That's a very dangerous place to be in these conditions. If Ilya makes some sort of mistake, it can be difficult for Arkady to recover. But what that just proves is Arkady is 100% confident in himself and the car, or it could just be that he has massive amounts of guts and just wants to do it.
What we saw afterwards was just amazing. The very close battle made by Arkasha was really good. Also, he left enough space for the leader to make the transitions. The synchronization of transitions was also very good. So, hey, I like that battle.
They were practically stuck together.
Yeah, it's that's what you want. That's really what you want to see,
Yeah,
especially in these conditions. The chase car, they're not giving themselves much room for error. If the lead car does something odd, they've got really no space to play with. The 34 Skyline right there with him the entire way around, showing a large degree of confidence in his own abilities. Also, it could be the fact that he trusts Ilya's driving. That can be another thing. These guys have probably, I'm guessing these guys have driven together before.
Of course,
many times.
This is the thing, like, what also drivers did not like here is that they didn't have much time to practice together the battles.
Right.
So those guys are used to drive together, so they should be very close every time.
And now we're going to go into round 2.
So second battle between these two, Russia versus Russia. Ilya Fedorov versus Arkady Tsarigradzev. This time Arkady will be in the lead position. He does have a faster car. Look at that long extension, long slide all the way down the wall, all the way out to the wall. Ilya having to take look at the difference in angle. Ilya, shallow angle to keep up with Arkady. But getting in there, very aggressive Ilya. It is really obvious that these guys have driven together before. They both seem to trust each other, but at the same time being very aggressive with each other. Oh, the road conditions are very tricky here today at Odaiba. And then we go over the finish line.
Also, what is needed to be mentioned, judges cannot choose one more time actually in top 16 here. So they will need to decide. What we saw here was another very close battle. Like you said, they completely trust each other, so they will go that much close because they believe that nobody of those two will do any like play games, like breaking in the places where you should not. So they were able to go that close. What I can see from the position of the line or positioning of the cars, Arkasha was slightly better on the line, but we will see for the judges how they will see it.
Yeah. There were a couple of points where Ilya wasn't driving quite as well as Arkasha was in the lead position. So we can see there from the in-car interview, he knows how to behave in front of a camera. Doesn't he have his own YouTube channel as well? I believe he has a fairly popular YouTube channel in Russia.
He's a funny guy.
Yeah.
He is having a lot of fun, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, that's what drifting is about. Even if you don't end up winning, it can be a lot of fun.
Just take your car, be best in your country, and come to IDC.
Simple as that.
Hey, look, that's what I did. Well, I think one thing between these two is, like we said before, they have fought each other before. And there is an amount of mutual respect there, which allows them to go really hard. And that's the thing that these drivers will remember, is not the fact that they won or lost at the end of the day. It's the battles they had, really hard-fought battles. That's what these guys want. They don't want to. I'm not going to say all of them, because there's various kinds of drivers, but none of these guys want to win because the other guy just crashed or the other guy's engine blew up or anything like that.
Oh,
they
definitely.
They want to win right.
I think this is one of the least motorsports who are like this. That I never saw in motorsport that the drivers were like giving parts to each other,
right?
Giving cars to each other,
yeah,
giving tires, wheels, whatever.
There's a
to
strong
make
community
that
spirit.
battle happen.
Yeah,
like they want to really fight till the end on the field where it should be, not behind it. That's really what I like about drifting.
That's right, and they want to see it settled out there and won the right way. Generally.
But you can see that's where a lot of the community spirit of drifting comes from.
That's right. Yeah, it's, most of these guys, I mean, these days it's a little bit different, but most of these guys are from the generation where they just go to a track day, everybody's there to have fun, everybody's there with a bit of friendly rivalry, they have a little competition, and it's grown into this, what we see today.
Yeah, keep drifting fun.
Keep drifting fun. I think going by Arkasha's reaction there, he's keeping it fun, but at the same time in a Skyline with a GTR engine that's capable of about 2,000 horsepower if they really crank up the boost. So it's a long way from the old little AE86s that people used to drive.
Yeah, this car is really not old school. This
now let's see.
is like a very powerful machine.
And we got a 3-0 decision for Arkasha. Arkasha moves on to the best 8, and Ilya is out.
So Ilya knocked out. So what does that mean? Who will Arkasha go up against in the best 8?
He will go up against Gosha. This should be really interesting.
So we're going to have one of the hottest battles of the entire competition being fought in the best 8.
Yes. I don't think it's going to get as more climactic than that, but you never know.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens with these next 2 drivers as they warm up.
Now, maybe now might be a good time to discuss the top 16 rankings in the solo runs. What do you think?
Okay. While they're warming up?
Yep. So, after heated solo runs, let's go from 16 to 1. So, in number 16, as I mentioned earlier, we have Luis Gono from the Philippines. In number 15, we have got Chanatpom Kurtpiam from Thailand. In 14th place, we have got Richard Khan from Mozambique doing his country proud. In 13th place, we have got Mohammed Zaihan Hamdan from Malaysia. In 12th place, we have got Sak Sergey from Belarus. In 11th place, we have got Feng Zhenqi from Taiwan. In 10th place, we have got Deshapon Toing Charan from Thailand. So we got 2 Thai racers in the finals. And in 9th place, we have got Arkady, who has now moved on to the best 8. And in number 8, we have got Ilya Fedorov, who scored an 8th place solo run finish, but is unfortunately out in the first round in the battle runs. In 7th place, we got Charles Zing from Hong Kong. 6th place, Masato Kawabata, who was leading this for a while. 5th place, Naoto Suenaga. 4th place, Hideyuki Fujino. So 4, 5, and 6 all by Japanese racers. And in 3rd place, we have got the Swiss wunderkind Yves Meyer. In 2nd place, Mr. Czech himself, Marko Zakuril. And of course, in 1st place, Gosha, Georgi Chevchan.
It's a very international result there.
Indeed.
By no means did any one country absolutely dominate the top of the qualifying.
Yeah, and we have 2 Europeans. Oh, three Europeans on the top 3.
There you go.
It's like in FD where the Europeans are smashing everybody.
Well, it is FIA.
Well, I think one of the surprises was Yves Meyer from Switzerland. He certainly put on quite an impressive second solo run display, didn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the first time I've ever seen him drive, and to be honest, I'm very impressed with his style. Also, his car setup looks great. I'm looking forward to seeing how he does in the battles, though.
What I saw him driving in Europe, he can like really place the car, place really good run, like really amazing run. But he's not that much consistent, and I think that on the level like what we have here, you really needs to be consistent to win. Hopefully, he will be consistent. I would really gladly see it, but I'm not completely sure about that.
His own fellow countryman doubts him. That's no, of course. But one of the good things about the FIA event is that we are getting these guys all together, exposing them to other types of driving, other types of car builds. Hopefully, all that does is push the sport further forward and makes it even better for the next time we run the FIA event.
But Marco Zakuril, oh, his Czech fans are sure happy they came to see him today.
Yeah, how many people are in the Czech cheer squad over there?
Oh, here, not that much. I think it's like 20 people here, but all Czech Republic is living drifting. Just now, they are just streaming, they're watching the stream. And
Okay, and we're now going to move on to the third match, Hideyuki Fujino of Japan versus Mohamed Zaihan Hamdan of Malaysia. And here we go.
It's the start of the battle. We have Fujino in the lead position and Hamdan in the chase. Great speed from Hamdan. Very early entry. Shallow line from Hamdan. He really needs to catch up in this tandem. Not a bad run so far for Hamdan. Yeah, so he dives in there. He needs to make up this space that he lost at the beginning of the run. Fujino just taking it easy in the lead position, taking a fairly middle line.
Oh,
and it's a spin from Fujino.
And the spin. Oh.
An unforced spin from the lead car, Fujino.
now it's very needed to see the replay. If there was like also a big mistake from the chaser, which can also make incomplete, or there would be like huge advantage for him in next run.
Yeah, it can potentially be a double disqualification if both of the drivers make a huge mistake, but we'll have to see. It doesn't really look like that Hamdan made any huge mistakes. Of course, wobbling around here, just trying to position his car, trying to catch up to Fujino, scrabbling around there. See a bit of a straighten there. I wouldn't say that was a full straighten though. He did straighten the front wheels a bit, but the car was still sliding sideways. And watch this, the transition back here, watch the lead car.
And also we are getting to one interesting thing what can happen, and that's,
Right
I
over
said
here.
that there is no possibility of one more time in top 16. But what happens that if there will be that much incompletes, there is no scoring. In that case, it's based on the qualification. But hopefully we will not see example like that.
So lined up again on the start line. Going to run these guys again, and Fujino will be going in the lead position. Now after that spin, going into the lead position with a point disadvantage is not the place you want to be. There's not really a whole lot you can do apart from just drive really well. Whether he can overcome the lack of points from a full spin is very unlikely.
But as the saying goes, never say never.
Never say never, you never know. Of course, when it comes into the lead position, there's a lot of psychological pressure there, especially having a guy like this, former D1 Grand Prix champion, right behind you.
And here's the second run. Let's see how this one goes.
Of course, the chase car, Fujino, very well known for being a great chase driver. But that's all he can do right now after that spin.
Now he needs to really push hard to push the leader to make a big mistake.
Another big straight in there from Hamdan. He's going to go out and hit the wall. No, he recovers from it. Fujino right there with him. Could that have been what Fujino was looking for? Hamdan straightening up. Now, whether the judges think that was a straighten worthy of a zero, we're going to have to find out when the results happen. But look at this, Fujino right there with him. He's not giving it. And another spin from Fujino in the same place.
Oh, boy.
So there are only two possibilities how it can be at this moment. If there are only incomplete, then it's based on the qualification.
Right.
Or there is decision based on the drive of one of those drivers.
So a huge straighten there. That could potentially be a zero to Hamdan in the lead. It wasn't just a little understeer, it was a full-on straighten.
However, Alexei, you are right. I mean, Fujino did spin out at the exact same location in both runs.
Yeah, I wonder why that is. It's an unusual thing. We haven't really seen that many people spin at that particular spot. But the track conditions are quite different to how it's been for the past couple of days here. the past 3 days here at Odaiba, but nobody has had practice in the wet before.
Yes.
So right there.
And they have to practically improvise.
Actually, Fujino's tires are great on dry. But on the wet, it doesn't look that they're so great.
No, it doesn't really look like it. The setup for Fujino's car is very well suited to the wet conditions. So we complete the replay there over the finish line. I mean, there are a few inconsistencies in the surface here at Odaiba, but that particular spot where Fujino spun, it didn't really seem to be anything different. Toyo girls are not happy about that.
Yeah,
double spin.
They need to.
He's a former champion, by the way.
That's correct.
He's a really good driver. Actually,
No,
I
I'm,
really like.
I'm sort of joking, but yeah, I wouldn't have expected him to spin twice in the same place.
You know, those tires, he's running on R88R's drift.
That's right.
And those tires have not that big negative ratio, void ratio.
That's right.
So there is like not much clearance of the water coming in. So it can be quite tricky to drive on those tires on wet.
Yeah, the Toyo R888Rs that these guys run, also the GTRs of Team Toyo Trust run the same tires. As David was saying, very big surface area on those, not a whole lot of drainage. They don't have any, just to the edge of the tires, it's just horizontal drainage only, so not great in the wet. They can air them down and play with the tire pressures to try and get more grip. But they are definitely more balanced towards the dry.
You can play with the pressures as much as you want, but if you cannot get away the water which is under your tires, then it will not work.
Oh, and look at this. It looks like the commentators are now joined by Mr. Drift King himself, Keiichi Tsuchiya.
There's Keiichi Tsuchiya here today to give his word, the guy who popularized drifting as a form of motorsport.
He actually almost made it. Like, he's like father of drifting.
That's right. He was the one who's originally given the name Drift King.
That's
back
correct.
when he used to be a racing driver. So the story goes, when he was in races where he wasn't winning, and as a back marker. Well, what can you do to get the attention of the cameras when you're a back marker? Well, start drifting around. And the commentators called him the Drift King. Let's watch this replay again. It's actually a fairly good run from Hamdan in the lead, apart from, of course, that straighten.
Yes.
But overall, it's fairly good. Like, I think the rain can really equalize a lot of people. It sort of brings the gap, the horsepower gap, down a lot.
I think what the judges are wanted to see if the spinning was pushed or not. You know, every time when something like this happens, you rather see it like 2 or 3 times that you are 100% sure if the decision is right. So they really need to see if it was intense or not, if there was some bigger slowing down of the leader, if there was some slowing down in case there is no deceleration zone, and so on and so on. It's very, sometimes it's very hard to find the right decision, and it's better to see it like many times again and again and again to be 100% sure. Because on this level, you need to be 100% sure, and you need to explain that afterwards.
That's
correct.
correct.
Of course, we do have 3 judges here today. One from Canada, one from Russia, and one from Japan.
And it looks like they are going to show the results.
So we had a double spin from Fujino, a big straighten from Hamdan on his second run, his lead run.
Actually, today we have 4 judges here, but one is not judging.
One is not judging. Who's the 4th? Oh, it's you.
It's
That's
me.
correct.
You. Right, okay.
One of them is here with us, yes. Oh, and here we go,
We have
finally.
results. Left for Fujino, right for Hamdan in the Altezza. Left for the blue 180SX.
But it is not moving.
And
Okay,
this is
okay.
what I said, like,
There we go.
there was like too many incompletes from both drivers, it will go like one more time, but the one more time is not possible to do.
So the top
so
16
it will go by the results from the qualification.
Yeah, so top 16, we do not run one more time battles. We run them from the top 8 onwards, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah, so from the top 16, the results come from the qualifying rank.
From top 8 to finals, we can have only one more time. In finals, we can have how many one more times we need, like even 20.
I think the most I've ever seen was about 8. But That is very rare.
Okay, so it looks like the machine was broken and it didn't show what the judges' results were, so the Japanese announcer just read them out. But it looks like Fujino has won this one.
Is that right?
At least that's what it just said. At a score of 86 to 68, apparently.
I mean, that would make sense. Oh, Fujino?
Yeah, which...
Fujino goes through because of the qualification.
Oh, because of... Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. Because of the qualification. Okay.
I was explaining.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, you were just explaining it just now. So, because it was counted as a one more time battle, it reverts to the qualifying score. So the higher qualified driver is the one who gets through.
And of course, Fujino was 4th place.
That's right.
In the solo runs.
So, unfortunately for Hamdan, Fujino in the 180SX moves through to the best 8.
And looks like they're now explaining the reasons for their decision in detail.
I think that they're just explaining what I just said because this is like needed to be explained.
Here we go. Yeah.
So that was
and there you have it.
There you have it. So that was the actual judged result. 2 judges in favor of Fujino, 1 in favor of Hamdan.
So in either event, looks like this match goes to Fujino, and Fujino moves on to the top 8.
Unfortunately, we cannot see names of those judges. I don't know who is like Judge A, Judge B, Judge C.
Oh, which one is judging which one? Yeah, I'm not too sure.
It would be good to know that.
Write them.
So the question is, are we going to have a top 8 of Russia versus Russia and Japan versus Japan, depending on how the next one turns out?
So our next 2 drivers, we have one more battle before we're almost halfway through the top 16 here at FIA Intercontinental Drifting Cup 2018.
And on next round, we got Naoto Suenaga of Japan and Sak Sergey of Belarus.
So our next battle, Belarus versus Japan.
That's correct. And if Japan wins this one as well, the top 8 is going to be first Russia versus Russia and then Japan versus Japan.
Could we potentially see that in the next battles in the best 8? We have no, they're all spread out after that.
They're all spread out after that.
We could have Thailand versus Thailand.
We could have Thailand versus Thailand.
We could have, I think that's about. We could have, Switzerland versus Chinese Taipei. I don't know, that's a fairly big gap in geographical location there. Okay, so here comes our first driver. They are doing check runs.
This is Naoto Suenaga right here.
This is Naoto from Team Orange. He's one of the fairly high-ranked drivers in D1 Grand Prix here in Japan this season. He was at one point the highest-ranked driver in the points.
Like, in the beginning of the race, I would not say that I will bet on that guy. But how he's driving today, he's like on fire. He's in the right mood, at the right spot. He's like really good today.
Yeah, Suenaga is one of these types of drivers who, we were talking before about having fun. If Suenaga's not having fun, he doesn't really drive well. He's one of these sorts of guys where if you see a video of him drifting, like an onboard camera video, he tends to be smiling the entire time. He can.
Oh, something fallen off the car.
It looks like something just fell off the Belarusian car.
There he goes, lying right there.
Was that the rear under spoiler or something?
It looked like bash bar. It looked like it fell.
The bash bar fell off. The front one.
There we go. Yep.
Maybe the rear one even. Like it looked that it fell from the rear bumper.
It did. It's kind of odd.
Look, bash bar should be done that it will not fall from the car.
Suenaga seems to be in good form besides the broken bumper.
As they complete their check runs. Get them lined up on the start line. About to run our next battle in the best 16 for the Intercontinental Drifting Cup.
And right in front of us, we got a drone camera that's parked and takes off whenever a new match is about to begin.
Yeah, that's what that. We can tell when the runs are about to start because the drone.
Hear that bzzz,
the drone takes off.
Yeah.
So it looks like the rain has stopped. It doesn't look like it's raining anymore, or is it? It's just barely raining.
It is barely raining, but it is clearing up a bit, looks like.
It's clearing up a little bit. Hopefully the track should start to dry up slightly towards the top end of the competition.
I can actually see bits of sky right now, which is always a good sign.
Hopefully it should clear up fairly soon. So the time here in Tokyo right now is 4:15 in the afternoon. We'll be running this competition as it starts to become dusk, which always makes for exciting driving to watch. So they start running their headlights. Hopefully we'll see a bit of smoke later on today as well.
Okay, and here we go. Naoto Suenaga of Japan versus Zach Sergey of Belarus.
So Sergey in the left lane in the Toyota 86, Suenaga the right lane in the orange S15 Silvia. Here we go, first run, Suenaga. Team Orange's motto is high-level tandem drift.
Suenaga is fast.
Suenaga is very fast in the lead position. Sergey not managing to close the distance. Let's see if he can do it here. He's having to straighten up a look. He's straightening up a lot to try and close that gap. That's not what you want to see.
He was just trying too much to close that gap, and I think that will cost him like a lot of points.
So he manages to get a bit closer, but at the expense of angle. And drifting is all about angle. But Suenaga, the angle and the speed. Let's watch the replay.
Like I said, he's like on fire.
He's doing well today. This is the last round of the year for a lot of these people. There you go, nice line to the left side of the track, taking the wide line, the unsafe line. It's exciting to watch, and it's faster.
And just like David said, he was going fast, Suenaga.
Yeah, the setup and prepare the car that it will have grip in such conditions. It's like magic. Like you never know if it will exactly work. You know how it should be done, but the reality can be different. Like in those, especially here at Odaiba, the track is like changing surfaces.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's very bumpy. Sometimes you have different tarmacs.
We just saw a little wobble there from Suenaga as well, in the exact same place where Fujino spun. So it might be that just that part of the track has a bit of a
slip to it.
A bit of a slip to it, maybe. So hopefully all of these guys, spotters, are paying close attention. They do have a spotter's tent with a video feed showing exactly what we can see. So what they need to do is let the drivers know that part of the track is a bit slippery, or any other part of the tracks too that they notice may be drying up or look particularly slick. Spotters, like in many other motorsports, are very important these days in drifting.
And here we go, number 2.
The second battle this time, they will change positions. The lead car will go in the chase. So Suenaga will go into the chase position behind Zach Sergey.
And he needs to be careful because he knows he's faster. So he needs to be careful. He just cannot over-push that.
Neck and neck.
That's what we want to see. Door-to-door driving here at Odaiba, FIA. Nice, consistent, clean driving from both these drivers so far, but the fact that Suenaga is so close shows that he's really dominating this battle. Now, here's this last part of the course, the treacherous last part.
Oh!
Throwing it a bit too hard.
There is something about that part.
There's something about that part of the course that's causing these guys to spin, half spin out.
You know, this is the thing, like here, the surface is changing, and some surfaces have better drainage than the others. So
That's
it can happen. There is like laying down water. Now you can see there is a line, and on that line you can have
From
water,
that angle, yeah.
change of grip, and it can be very tricky to go through there.
It's a nice tandem driving here. Of course, the wet conditions make it very difficult to go smoothly.
Still, Suenaga did a great job of being largely neck and neck with Sergey.
Yeah, he didn't place it safe. You know, a lot of
right.
drivers will just make it safe.
He was not playing it
I have
safe,
a
yeah.
advantage, so I will just play it safe. Take that home. No, he just risked it, and
right
it looks
here.
it's worth it. Yeah, it
Yeah,
looks
right
it's
there at that same spot. You know, absolutely worth it. It's worth it if you can do that in front of the judges. They can see that. They know what you're doing. They know that you're being confident. They know that you're giving it 100%. You're not holding back. and over the finish line for Suinaga and Sergei.
Well, you know, I got to be honest with you. I think we're going to be looking at Russia versus Russia and Japan versus Japan in the top 8.
It could be possible. It could be possible. So our next 2 battles are going to be Russia versus Russia, Japan, Japan, and then Russia versus Japan.
I mean, I think it's pretty clear that Suinaga handled this one. Yep, and all 3 judges have given the victory to Naoto Suinaga. And Naoto Suinaga advances to the top 8, and we're going to have Gocha versus Arkasha, Russia versus Russia, and Fujino versus Suinaga, Japan versus Japan in the top 8. So one way or another, we're going to be seeing Russia versus Japan in the semifinals.
Yep.
So 2 very exciting battles coming up. 2 battles worthy of the finals in the best 8. So looking forward to that.
Yay!
Why does it look like he's driving in the dry?
No.
Why is he so fast?
Because in Czech Republic rains a lot.
I see.
Especially we had finals like a week ago of Czech Drift Series.
What?
And it was raining. Oh,
right there.
I would rather shut my mouth. Like I don't want to like.
The broadcaster's curse. That same spot. There's something about that spot on the track. The spotters need to let these guys know that part of the track. They need to be careful.
And what I was trying to say before he spun was that we got like finals of our Czech Drift Series, and it was completely on wet.
Right.
So we got like a lot of training on water and cold weather.
In Japan, they have. Whoa, that's it's not qualifying. It's just a warm up. In Japan, they have a phrase. It's called ame yaro. It means like a rain guy. Like guys who are like, when it's raining, they're good. So
mainly Miata drivers.
What's that?
Mainly Miata drivers.
Miata drivers. Oh well, yeah, I guess so, but not so much that it's the power and that sort of thing, but they can just handle the drifting in the wet a bit better than everybody else can. So all of a sudden, if the competition is wet, all of a sudden, he's going to win.
Yeah, that's mainly guys who started with like really low-powered car because they loved the rain because suddenly they had like a lot of power.
So rain, otherwise known as drift lubricant.
But you know, your prediction may be correct about Ameyato. He did not slip at that same spot.
He didn't, no. So this should be interesting. David, you might want to let your boy know. Get on your phone and let him know that it's slippery out there. Because the rest of that run looked really good.
Actually, he got his spotter, he got his hat. I will not I cannot help him from here. So I would just pray that it will go through, you know?
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. Next 2 drivers.
Okay. And now we're going to move on to the next match of the battle runs. We have got Marko Zakuril from the Czech Republic and Chanatpom Kurtpiam from Thailand. Let's see who's going to take this one home.
BMW M2 versus Toyota Altezza. Fairly similar cars in spirit, I guess.
Now, of course, Kurtpiam in his first solo run spun out and scored a 0.
Right. So here we go. Next run now. Zakuril, Kurtpiam. Zakuril in the lead position. Very aggressive run from Zakuril all the way out to the wall. This is looking really good. Running along the wall.
And it looks like we lost the camera feed for a bit. Here we go. It's back.
It's back in the right spot.
Zakuril, huge angle in these wet conditions. Kurtpiam right there with him.
Need to wait for that slippery spot.
And here's the...
Whoa,
okay.
Looks very good.
They slowed down a bit, but...
That supercharged V8 in Zakuril's car. Turbocharged. 1 or 2?
1.
Big, huge turbo making a lot of noise in this BMW.
And
look at this.
You can see outputs from the waste gates through the bonnet. Like, that's cool.
Oh, right, yeah. So the wastegate exhaust is sticking out of the bonnet, making some nice flames coming out of there.
Oh, that was a head.
Yep.
Was that a bit of contact there? Oh, okay.
There was a bit of contact there.
We didn't see that because the camera cut out for a second. So Kurtpiam being very aggressive in this Achilles Lexus.
Actually, Achilles tires are very great on the water.
Yes, they've been known for being very good in the wet.
and federals are not that good on water.
Not so good? No, well,
No.
it seems to be, but look, it looks
This
like
part
Zacharil.
right over here.
Zacharil's doing a really good job putting the power down. Some flames spitting out of the rear of the car, spitting out of the bike. You can see right there.
Like a lot of flames. That's nice. Everybody wants to see that.
That is nice as he accelerates out of that corner. Great first battle between these two, unfortunately. We did have a bit of a cut there, but
I mean,
looking forward to seeing the next one.
Kurt Piam definitely held his own against Zacharil. We'll see how this one goes.
Certainly did. Okay, next battle now. This time, Kurt Piam in the lead position. Zacharil chasing. Very early entry, fast entry from
That was very aggressive.
Kurt Piam. Very aggressive.
Ooh.
He's sort of leaving Zacharil behind slightly. Zacharil really needs to try and catch up with him in this corner. Use the grip. We know he has it. Kurt Piam running quite wide. Here comes the transition. Another chance for Zacharil to catch up.
And here it is.
Slippery
Running a little bit
place.
wide there.
Okay.
Wheel off.
And over the finish line, Kurt Piam versus Zacharil.
Nice
That's actually
smooth
very
run by
good
both drivers.
Run from the leader. He got a grip and he's using it fully.
Yeah, both these cars seem to have a lot of grip.
I think Marco was like surprised by that run. Like he didn't expect that he will be that fast.
Zacharil being left a fair way behind there by the
Yeah, he closed it in.
but
to
he
get
did.
close.
No, he did twice. He managed to close it in on that hairpin and also here as well, managing to reel in the lead car just a little bit.
Here is like okay because there's inside clip. So if he closes it there,
Yeah.
it's okay. But here he's also still like inside, but he's not putting the wheel off like the leader.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what the result is.
And unfortunately, the rain is starting again.
Yes, it is indeed.
Is it?
The rain is
Yeah.
coming down again.
It is too.
Yeah, and it looks like the clouds are, have taken over the sky again.
So our prayers for smoke in the finals were not
I
listened.
really do want to see. I really wanted to see smoke. We saw some amazing clouds of smoke being laid down here today. Of course, not a judged part of the competition here, but it sure does look good.
Oh, and there he is, his
Yeah,
fan club,
Chigru.
Zacharil. He has got a lot of support with him today.
Are they all up in the VIP section?
Yeah, they paid like $250.
Oh, we got one
Each.
for Kurt.
Wow.
Each spot.
Oh, and it looks
And that's
like Kurt
unfortunate.
Piam has won this one and moves on to the top 10. The Czech Republic is out. We're very sorry, Czech Republic.
David, are you okay?
I'm sad.
I'm sad. You're sad. But that was a great run from Kurt Piam, especially in
Indeed.
in the lead run.
I
Look,
think
if any of those guys had gone up against anyone who we've seen in the battle so far, that either of them would have won. Both of them showed a great amount of car control, great car setup, and able to use a lot of grip in these terrible conditions here at Odaiba.
I think he just underestimated him. Like he didn't expect that he will be that fast.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't think any of us were expecting Kurt Piam to be as fast as he was. But that's a good thing. See, these guys, they get a chance to drive up against each other, drivers they would have never driven up against before. Able to do it here. And just like many other motorsports, drifting is all about data acquisition, gaining experience, knowing what to do in certain conditions, and being able to react in a millisecond and change your strategy quickly. Because as you said, they've only got, how long does this track go for? Under 30 seconds. 19?
Under 20.
Under 20.
Sometimes under 20. On the wet, it will be like 24, 25 seconds.
Right.
But still, and also drifting is one mistake sport. You just do that one mistake and you're done.
And we have now got a third country battling in the top 8, Thailand. And our next match over here is between Hong Kong and another racer from Thailand.
So Hong Kong versus Thailand, of course. Charles in the lead position, the V8-powered Nissan 180SX. And in the chase position, Pon in the Toyota 86 with the GTR engine. So very interesting. We have 180SX with a huge V8 and a Toyota 86 with a huge V6. So drifting, all about fitting huge engines in small cars. putting on big wheels and just trying to get them to slide around as fast as possible.
Okay, and the drone camera is now airborne, which means we should be starting very soon.
So next battle, we are almost at the end of the top 16. Of course, the battles are only going to get more and more intense as we go through the day, as our drivers get better and better towards the semi-final and the final.
Better and better, but also more and more tired. These races take up a lot of energy.
You're not wrong. The amount of sitting there waiting and then all of a sudden explosive action really can tire you out. There's no chance to sort of relax. There's no long back straights to sort of shuffle in your seat and think about what you're going to do next. You have about 20 seconds to win this battle.
And here we go. Charles Ng versus Deshapan Taiying Charan, otherwise known as Pond.
Right, second battle, first battle now between these two. Charles Ng, lead position. Pond in the chase. Nice early entry from both these guys. Very close there from the chase car, Pond, but a bit of a straight in there. See, this is what we don't want to see. We want to see the guys go parallel to each other. If the chase car has to straighten up or have less angle to keep up with the lead car, the advantage will be given to the lead car. But Charles Ng switches back. Pond a long way behind, very slow in his transition. And Charles Ng pulls away in the lead position. This is a great run from Charles. He's had an entire year of D1 Grand Prix competition to get this car settled.
I think that amount of seat time helped him a lot. Like, he went way better. If you compare his running from the previous year and this year, he like rised one level up. And
absolutely,
it's nicely visible on that driving. He's right in the line where he should be. He's using the throttle how he should. So very nice lead run from Charles.
Yeah, like you said, it's especially with that naturally aspirated V8, it's very easy to hear the throttle control that Charles has. Very smooth, which is very important in these wet conditions. You can't just be hard on and off the throttle. You need to keep the car settled, keep the weight distribution nice and easily settled, most of it on the rear, to squash those tires down into the ground and drive forward.
And what I can say also, the difference between S-chassis, asphalt scene, which is in the front, and the GT86, like on these conditions, with GT86 it's very hard to go off throttle because then the front easily slides. What we saw in like two times here in the battle, when the front slides of the GT86. So you need to still keep it slightly on throttle, on throttle. If you go off throttle, it's very hard to go well.
Speaking of throttle, here go these two for the second round.
So next run now, this time Pond in the lead position. Here we go, handbrake entry sliding down the wall. Oh, Pond about to cut on the inside. Like you were just saying, David, the front end grip of these short wheelbase Toyota 86s can be difficult to control. Very maneuverable, but also very twitchy. Charles right there with him the entire time. Watch the transition here. Charles very close to taking out one of the cones. Pond running very wide. Charles with him there all the way. Shallowing up slightly, Charles Ng, but still right there with him. That was a dominant run there from Charles Ng.
Yeah, that was like our slippery spot. Like it's like magical spot. Like every time drivers had the problems with that.
It's right there.
We saw that Charles had the problem with it, but he managed to save it. So, anyways, we still need to wait for the results from the judges. But I liked more driving of Charles.
Yeah, I got to say that Charles overall just looked a bit more confident. And that's saying something since Pond has also had a lot of experience in these cars. Both of these guys running in D1 Grand Prix, the Japanese series, for an entire season. Both of them putting a lot of work into the setup of their cars. So both of these cars are currently about as good as they're going to get.
But also, with it being twilight now, you can see just how wet the ground is right now.
Yeah, it's a high drainage car park. We have the
And
results.
here we go. And all three judges have ruled in favor of Charles Ng, who advances to the top 8, and we now have Hong Kong on the list.
So I said it right. Maybe I can judge also.
You can. Maybe you can.
Well, how would you judge us?
Well, he's also a judge. I get. Well, you should head up there and maybe join in. Give him an extra set of eyes and ears.
David, would you give this to Charles or to Pond?
Definitely Charles. I said it. You know, he was more consistent. He was more on the line. He was like with more angle. That was quite obvious thing here.
Yeah.
It was a smooth domination, wasn't it?
Smooth domination. Is that a wrestling move?
Might be. I don't know. In this case, this was a drift wrestling move.
That's it. Okay, next driver is about to come out. This is our final battle of the top 16.
Last Beamer in the game.
The last BMW left, you are right.
And we now have Yves Meyer, the Swiss wunderkind, practicing the course.
Sorry, it's the second last battle, isn't it?
That's correct.
That's right. So Switzerland in the lead position. The BMW, you can hear it there. And about to come out, the next driver. Here we go.
You know, I don't even remember the last time I witnessed a match between a Swiss athlete and a Mozambique athlete.
It might have happened.
I'm pretty sure it did, but I don't remember any.
Yeah. Well, and it's okay because they're just getting used to the course, the track conditions. If they're going to spin out or understeer, this is the time to do it. This is the time to see where the limits of the car are, where the limits of their grip are. So if you see them spin out, that's okay now. They know where the limit is.
How often rains in his car?
In Japan?
No.
In Mozambique?
Yeah.
I'm sure they have a wet season. I'm not too familiar with...
Yeah, but not for a long time. Aren't they drifting in wet season?
I'm not familiar with that part of the world, the average rainfall or not. But I imagine that if it did rain there, it happens fairly rarely, and they'd probably just not go drifting that day.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I'm afraid that he doesn't have that much training on the WAP.
You know, that is a question that most people can't answer. How often does it rain in Mozambique? You'd have to know that region.
I'm about to have a look.
Yeah. If you maybe type in Mozambique rainy season on Google.
I'm interested.
It's modern technology.
Oh yeah,
Have you
it's
a
beautiful.
Special question, you can get the answer
You
in
can answer
5
it on
minutes.
the spot. According to Wikipedia. And here we go. Yves Meyer from Switzerland versus Richard Kahn from Mozambique.
Okay, so here we go. First battle between these two, Switzerland versus Mozambique. Yves Meyer in the BMW in the lead position, Richard in the S14 Silvia. Whoa, it's a bit of an understeery entry there from Yves Meyer. Richard right there with him. Richard needs to correct his line a bit to catch back up to Yves. Both of them making mistakes. It's fairly even so far. Neither one of them showing a dominant display of drifting. But Yves pulling ahead there around the hairpin, running wide. Once again, both of them throwing it a little bit wide on that outside position of the course. Something about there is just still a little bit slippery. And over the finish line. So nothing really too dominant from either one of these drivers.
Actually, it was messy from both drivers.
From both.
They were fighting with those conditions.
By the way, so it turns out Mozambique has a rainy season from November till March. Classic south of the equator weather.
625 inches of rainfall per year.
It's not that much, is it?
Much or not?
I don't know. Let's find out.
It does apparently get quite humid around this time of the year there.
So also the question is how much it will fall in one moment. If everything falls in one day, then you just don't go drifting in that day. You will wait when it dry again.
Paris has an average of 25 inches per year.
This is half?
So Mozambique is 25 inches as well. So it gets the same amount of rain as Paris in France. There you go. So I guess they do get rain.
Yep.
Well, so maybe he knows how to drift and what?
Well, I guess you think that being a drift driver, he'd want to get out and practice in all kinds of conditions, wet and dry. So, I mean, I know that there's been times where I've looked at the weather report, and it's the next day is raining, so I make sure I go to the track, go to FEC Circuit, and get some practice in the wet. It's cheaper. Yeah, you just spend money on petrol and hopefully just petrol, not on body panels and radiators from crashing.
Hopefully not on stuff that you had to pay for because you crashed because it was wet.
That's right. That's right. That has happened before to many people.
And here we go, run number 2.
Okay, second battle now. This time, Richard Kahn will be in the lead position. Yves Meyer. It seems fairly even so far. Let's see if one of them can show some sort of dominance. A bit of a very messy entry for Richard Kahn. Yves Meyer, not a big entry, but understandable considering the lead car was all over the place. So once again, fairly even so far, but Yves, a much cleaner entry. Switching back. Oh, a big understeer from Yves Meyer. And off the track from Richard Kahn as well. So a fairly messy run from both of these guys.
Sometimes I'm quite not happy that I'm not at the judging stand, but after this battle, I'm quite happy that I'm not there. This is like really tough call.
Yeah, this is the kind of competition result that makes the judges sit there and go, well, who made the least amount of mistakes? It's not a good way to decide a competition, but unfortunately that's how it is sometimes, especially in conditions like this. So on the entry, Richard made a huge understeer mistake, but if we look in the chase, we saw that Yves also made a fairly big mistake right about there. See, big understeer, that's a loss of drift.
And that was like 2 wheels off also from the leader. Like, so many mistakes, so it's very hard just to say, okay, that one.
Yeah, a lot of mistakes for both these guys. Our 3 judges, have to have a look at that replay and make a decision.
Well, it was in general a wobblier run than the first one, wasn't it? It was a wobblier run than the first one.
Actually, that was like problem.
Here we go. 1 for Yves, 2 for Yves.
And the judges have voted unanimously for Yves Meyer, and Switzerland advances to the top 8.
So they did both make a few mistakes throughout the entire course, but you've got to remember the best part of drifting is the entry of the course. It's the highest speed part of the course. It's the one that requires the most commitment. It's also the most dangerous. And Yves went in there, drifted in there in the chase position, despite the fact that the lead car was kind of initiated, straightened up again, and had to reinitiate. That shows a lot of commitment for the chase car. I get the feeling that's why they gave that run to him.
And we're down.
If you can feel to be in the chase driver's skin, then to initiate behind that is very hard, and it will mess with your mind. You will just not believe to that driver who is in front of you. And every time when you're getting close and he starts to do some mistake, you're just too afraid to go behind him. So, yeah, I can understand that call.
And for the first round of the battle runs, we're down to 1 more run between Masato Kawabata and Feng Zhenqi. Japan versus Taiwan.
Feng Zhenqi here in the 180SX.
Also, I have answered from the judges who is who.
Oh, okay.
Even they don't know.
Even they don't know? Well, when it comes down to the battles, it doesn't matter. Like, they're not separating the judging, are they?
Yeah.
All 3 of them are just judging the runs as a whole.
Because the thing is that for the battles, you need to stand together. Because you have, like, if you're together, you have 6 pair of eyes. You have 3 brains, so you can talk together, explain to each other, and then you can judge by yourself, which is good.
Yeah, of course, we do have sometimes, as we saw before, we have split decisions. 1 judge will go for 1 driver and 2 will go for the other. Of course, it is a majority vote. Of course, all the judges can decide to run a 1 more time battle if they feel that the drivers were even. So that can happen as well.
Few series have even a minority decision.
Really?
In case of 1 more time of 2, and 1 is going to.
Oh, I see.
then it can
Right.
minority can decide.
So if
For example, in RDS or Russian Drift Series, it's like this.
I see. Okay.
Okay, and here we go.
mainly
Masato
it's
Kawabata
maturity.
versus Feng Zhenqi. The final match of the top 16.
So R35 Nissan GTR versus S15 Nissan Silvia. Kawabata, a former champion of D1 Grand Prix. Feng Zhenqi, wow, great chase run from Feng Zhenqi. A little bit of an understeer though, but look at this, getting up on the door of Kawabata. A huge gap in horsepower between these two. Look at this driving from Feng Zhenqi and throwing it a bit too hard and losing the drift. He was doing so well in a spin in the opposite direction. Feng Zhenqi getting frustrated there, spinning once more. He was doing so well in the chase. I don't think I've seen anyone in FIA drift like that with Kawabata before.
What I can see from here, like Kawabata like slightly played with him. Like,
you think so?
Yeah, because he initiated super early.
Right.
He went inside, still sliding without any kind of throttle. Then he pulls it like a lot. Then the chaser is trying to close it in, and then comes the mistake.
Right.
So it was like playing like cat with the mice.
So you're saying that Kawabata sort of, I'm not saying forced an error, but gave Feng Zhenqi an opportunity to make his own mistake.
Yes,
right.
Exactly.
There you go.
Sign of a master.
He's like teacher of drifting. He knows like so much in drifting. So he pulled it, and the chaser just jumped on it.
Of course, strategy is part of drifting. We're not talking about dirty driving, brake checking, anything like that. We're just talking exactly what David's just talking about. Knowing your opponent. Of course, all of these guys, especially the top tier guys, have spotters with cameras who will give them information on every single driver out there. Okay, second run now, this time Feng Zhenqi, big spins from him. This time Kawabata in the chase position. All Feng can do is just drive his heart out, the best run he can possibly do. But he has the monster GTR breathing down his neck. Even if he could just complete this run with no problem, it would be a great feat. Here comes the transition back. Kawabata right there with him the entire time. Nice tandem battle, nice tandem chase. And finishing off the run, no sweat for Kawabata.
That was one mistake from
peasy.
Kawabata, what I saw just before the finish, and that was crossing the line.
I did see that.
The GDR is a huge car. So we will see how the judges will judge that.
Are there different rules for the chase car and the lead car like there are in D1 Grand Prix regarding going over the line?
Yeah, it have to be like this, because as a chase car, there are situations where you just don't see there's a line, and you're just following the leader. And if you're close enough, and if the line is similar enough, then you can cross the line.
Okay.
Wow, well, that second run was, Kawabata was just right on him, did not give him an inch to get by.
Yeah, he just kept him at arm's length.
Here.
Yeah, right there. Yeah.
It was sacrificing place on the circuit to make the synchronization of the battle right. Like
Yeah, you could see that the two cars, a sign of really good tandem drifting for the chase car is when they change their angle at the same time as the lead car.
Oh,
When it
and
looks
here we
synchronized.
go. Well, no big surprise there, folks. Masato Kawabata moves on to the top 8. And we have got a whopping 3 Japanese racers moving into the top 8 after the best 16 round.
So we have a full top 16 battle tree run and done, which means we have our best 8 lineup. Here you go.
Here we go. First up, we got Georgi Chivchan, Gocha versus Arkady.
Wow.
Arkasha versus Gocha, the 2 Russian greats facing off against each other in the top 8 of all things.
And our next battle, Japan versus Japan, Hideyuki Fujino versus Naoto Suinaga. So we're going to have a Russia, Japan, and then a Russia-Japan battle in the semi-final. Should be interesting.
And then next, well, let's wait for the screen to change.
Wait for the screen to change. Yeah, look at this. And unfortunately, that means that Ilya Fedorov also got knocked out, and another Russian driver.
And here we go. We have got Chanatpam Kurd from Thailand versus Charles Ng from Hong Kong. And Yves Meyer, the Wunderkind from Switzerland, versus Masato Kawabata, the Japanese Drift King.
All right, so interesting battles about to come up in the best 8.
Definitely. One thing's for sure, Japan and Russia are going to be in the best 4.
That's right. That is true. Which one of them is going to make it through to the final? Not too sure. Unfortunately, at least one of our strongest competitors today is going to get knocked out in the next battle.
Okay, so without much further ado, we're at the quarterfinals, the best 8. We got Georgy Chivchan Gocha versus Arkasha, both of them from Russia, the big Russian showdown.
And we are running without warm-ups or test laps. We are just directly in the battle.
Going right into it.
So we're straight into it. These guys, they know each other's driving style. Ooh. Neither one of them wants to lose against the other guy. Gocha's entry, amazing. Leaving Arkady behind, but Arkady, look at this. Arkady surging forward up into the door of Gocha. It's side by side here at Odaiba. Russia versus Russia. Flames spitting everywhere. Limiter. We're starting to see some smoke. The track is starting to dry out. Over the finish line.
Beautiful.
Big round of applause from the spectators here at Odaiba. Look at this entry from Gocha.
Like, if you have like friends drifting together in competition like this, it's like, okay, it's you or me, so we will just show our best drifting, and that's what they were doing.
And Alexei, you're right, the rain has indeed stopped again, so the ground might be drying up a little bit with all those cars screeching across it.
Yeah, well, we just saw a little bit of smoke coming off the Skyline in the rear position.
The Skyline is putting so much power.
Well, that's probably why. Yeah, he's got a lot more power than the lead car Gocha. Right about here, we're starting to see smoke.
That will be like easily more than 100 kilometers per hour wheel spin.
Yeah, there we go. See, there's smoke there. Really would have liked to see this battle being run in the dry. Yeah, and like you said, David, these guys driving together, they're friends and extreme rivals at the same time.
And here we go, run number 2.
The second battle now, though. So this time, the Skyline will be in the lead position.
And we will see if he can pull that amazing initiation like
Yeah,
Gocha.
can Arkady do the kind of entry? Wow, look at Gocha in the chase. 100% commitment. He's taking the suicide line up the inside. Gocha right next to Arkady's Skyline as he spits flames at the car behind him. Watch the transition here. Now, either of them could make a mistake right about here.
Oh!
Throwing it a bit too hard, Arkady. But Gocha, no worries, he's right there the whole time. An amazing battle. We're getting finals quality battles here in the best 8.
What was it that fell out of... That you said it completely right. When you said that Gocha is taking suicidal inside line. Like, here it was still okay, but afterwards it was like very, very dangerous to choose that inside line. Like, he chose it and he did mistake because of that.
And now that it's getting darker, boy, you can see the sparks flying out of the car as it zips by.
Yeah. We're starting to see exhaust flames. There's some of these guys running anti-lag systems, keeping the turbos spinning as fast as possible for high response. Throwing it really hard there, though, that same spot that caught at least 3 other cars today. Gocha not even worried about it at all. He's there the whole time. But that entry from Gocha, wow.
Massive.
That was really good fun to watch. Almost hoping we see him further through competition so we can see more entries like that.
Yeah, I really want to see that more often.
It really is a waste to see something like this in the top 8. I mean, you know,
I know,
what can you do?
It happens sometimes, it's terrible. So here we go, left of screen, Arkady, right of screen, Gocha.
They're going to be interviewing both racers.
Both nervous as hell. But this should be like on Evan like this. You are just nervous because there's a lot of things going on.
Well, it's a worldwide stage. I know that basically 3/4 of the chat on YouTube is in Russian.
Mm-hmm.
So we know that a lot of Russians are watching us.
Completely agree with Gocha. He was just saying that he loves dry conditions, way
conditions,
more
yeah,
than
I can
the
imagine.
wet. I couldn't agree more.
Unfortunately, we really can't do anything about the weather. And here we go. Who takes home the semifinal or the best
One for
eight?
Gocha. Two.
Oh, and Gocha defeats Arkasha to move on to the semifinals. And last year's finalist, Arkasha, gets wiped out in the quarterfinals.
It's a shame to see him get knocked out that early, but it was one or the other. And this is drifting. There's no room for friendships here. So unfortunately, we won't be seeing any more of Arcades.
But we will see more often that initiation.
We will, but on the other hand, on the upside, like you said, David, we're going to see more of Gocha.
Yeah.
And he'll be
It's
going,
a win-win.
It's a win-win. He'll be going up against the winner of this next battle, our next Japan versus Japan battle. Another battle we would have liked to see maybe in the semi-final.
Actually, the funny thing is that we will just gain with each battle, but we will lose with the final. Because it will be over.
And here we go, the next match, Japan versus Japan. Hideyuki Fujino versus Naoto Suenaga.
Here goes the next battle. Suenaga on the left of screen. Fujino on the right. Naoto Suenaga, very skilled with the tandem battles, but Fujino, a very high IQ driver, always knows what to do. Look at this, tandem runs. This is what we wanted to see. We just saw this before with the Russians. Now we're seeing it with the Japanese drivers. Watch this, Suenaga is going to dive in here, put it on the door of Fujino. He's going to back off slightly, switch it back, and then dive in one more time, just like that. There you go. Oh, a bit of a straight there though, and it's really unfortunate for Suenaga. A slight straighten though, but the rest of the run, amazing chase run from Suenaga in the orange S15 Silvia from Team Orange.
Completely agree that chase run by Suenaga till the point where he did that mistake was amazing. He was just glued to Fujino, glued to him, same angle, slightly more inside, but this is like really nice battle, and that's what we want to see.
And this part of the track is, right after this is the sort of technique that Suenaga is well known for. Watch this, tucks in, but of course they have to switch back. If the lead car switch back right now, he'd hit. He backs off slightly and then surges forward again. This is high level tandem drift. But unfortunately, right about here, Suenaga starts to straighten up on the low speed section right there. He's on the inside, he's not going very fast. There's not a whole lot of wheel spin. He can't spin the tires up too fast. If he does, he'll spin out in his slick, half wet, half dry conditions.
Because exactly what he took that technique in a place where it's more slippery. So
yeah.
Still, it was a very impressive run between two experienced, fantastic drifters from Japan. But we still got one more to go.
Still got one more to go. Sunaga's just over in the hot pit area.
Yeah, here we can have tire pressure change. So he's using it to have slightly different grip for the leader position. Normally you're running with more pressure on the chase if you're faster than your opponent, and then you just decrease the pressure, or you're just adapting the pressure based on the warming up of the tires, because if you warm up the tires, the pressure rises and you're starting to lose the grip.
And here we go, run number 2 between Fujino and Suenaga. Who's going to take this one home?
All right, here we go now. This is where Suenaga is not as strong in the lead position as he is in the chase generally, but Fujino is pretty good at both. He's going for the huge entry. He's seen it and taking out the inside cone there, but leaves Fujino right there. He's even closer to Suenaga than Suenaga was to him. This puts him in a good position. Watch this, right up parallel with Suenaga, almost kissing his door, switches back, dives in again, no mistakes, ice cold driving, Oh, and a bit of a spin there. He made a mistake. I called it. I gave him a curse. Virginia making a mistake there too. Is this going to be a one more time?
Right at the very end, there was a bit of a slip up.
This live stream is really cursed. Like, we just
Sorry.
cannot say that someone will be better because
It's the
Marco
Yeah.
just lost it like that.
Right.
And now it looks that it goes to Virginia. So
I might stop calling.
You need to be careful.
Well, it's the Murray Walker kiss of death. Remember Murray Walker, the old Formula One commentator? He would comment on how good a driver was doing, and then they'd crash a minute later. So yeah, I might stop doing that. But this look how good this looks.
Yeah, that was like. Firstly, when I saw the initiation, I would say, okay, it will basically be how big mistake was done by Suenaga.
Yeah.
But then he started closing in and made really nice battle.
Yep.
But then this
Right
mistake,
here.
I was like almost spin out, so it will be called pretty
So
bad
close.
for him.
So the problem with these half wet, half dry, slick conditions is, and especially on a small technical course like this, is generally in the dry, what the drivers can do is keep a very high wheel speed. They can keep their tires spinning very fast, which means that they have a bit of wheel speed to play with to speed up or slow down. Whereas right now, if they keep their tires spinning fast, they're going to spin out. So the responsiveness of the cars, they're designed, they're tuned for high revs, high wheel speed. But right now, they're down in the low gear, low wheel speed range, especially in that part of the course. So it really shows that the high level of car control that these guys have, if they can pull it off on those parts of the track. So waiting for a result for this battle between Suenaga
And it is now
Fujino.
5 p.m. in Tokyo. It is officially evening. We just heard the 5 p.m. siren a while ago.
We did hear that, yep. We
Yep.
did.
And now the racers are literally racing in the dark.
The lights have come on here around the track.
Okay, looks like we got the results. Suenaga. Oh, and it's a clean sweep for Suenaga, who advances to the semifinals. Hideyuki Fujino put on a great run, but he is out at the quarterfinals.
So now to Suenaga. Advancing through to the semi-final, he'll be going up against Gotcha. That's interesting. 2 S15 Silvias in the semi-final.
I think we've been talking before, like S15 chassis is very good for drifting. It's very nice to drive. It's very readable. It's very controllable. It's not oversteering, understeering. It's not losing grip on any axle. Only you just cannot crash it.
That's right, yeah.
All right, now we got Chanatpam Kurtpiam versus Charles Ng, Thailand versus Hong Kong.
All right, next battle now. Thailand versus Hong Kong. We've got Charles Ng left of screen. Chanatpam Kurtpiam now on the left of screen. Here comes the entry. We have the lights on. It's officially, as you said, evening here at Odaiba. Running very wide. Kurtpiam, nice line from him. He's doing really well today. His battles so far have been very enjoyable to watch. But Charles Ng, he's not letting him get away. Transitioning back. Charles Ng right there with him.
Oh.
Right there, that could have been a bit sketchy there. Great battle, this one between Kurtpiam and Charles Ng. And over the finish line, getting a round of applause.
Yeah, this is the thing, like, from 15th driver from qualification, you would expect, okay, he's 15, so it will be easy. And he's like showing us that's completely not true. Like, even 15th driver is very dangerous to drive with.
That's right.
He can like pull it like really hard, and those Achilles tires are working for him in those conditions.
It seems this car really does seem to suit the wet conditions.
Kurtpiam started off very weak, but he's just been getting stronger and stronger as the day goes by.
Yeah, it's really obvious to notice how much he's been improving over the weekend. It's the last part of the course. Look at that, switching their angle at the same time. Nice chase run.
He just improved at the last minute. You know, it was like, okay, now or never, and he just improved and pulled it.
Well, I guess that works for some people. Have, you know, if you put the pressure on them, that
they start to work.
They start to work. Some don't. Looks like Kurtpiam is able to do that.
And here we go, the second run.
Nothing is decided, and it will be decided very soon.
Nothing is decided in that first battle. It's about to be. Second run now, this time Charles Ng. Watch this entry from Charles. He's going to go very hard on this. Whoa, actually a bit of a wobble on the entry there. That's not what he wanted. Good angle though through the long sweeper, but Kerbiam right there on the door of Charles Ng. Here they come into the bottom part of the course. The hairpin, Kerbiam's going to ride up. Bit of a tag there. He tapped the rear door, the rear wheel, rather, of Charles Ng. Charles, unfazed by that, continues driving. It was only a little tap. And over the finish line. So
Kurt Piam doing a great job of keeping up with Charles Ng.
He did, but a little bit too close it
A
looked
little
like at
too
one
close.
point.
There was a bit of a tap, wasn't there?
It was definitely too close at one point, but it did not like change the line of Charles.
Yeah, that
so
one
it should be okay. You know, like we spoke about it before, slide tapping, it's okay. It doesn't matter if it is wall or your opponent. You just clap on that, but you just cannot crash. And that was like slide tap right here, and didn't change like really the line of the leader. So that should be okay. So, but we need to question if that angle was enough, because he was like running with way smaller angle.
Yeah.
But what we saw also from Charles was not great initiation.
Yeah, it wasn't
so
a very good
that was
one at all.
like few mistakes from both drivers. So now we just need to wait for the
And here we
results.
go.
So Kurt Piam in the Lexus.
It is not a surprise. It's a clean sweep for Chanotpam Kurt Piam, who advances to the semifinals. This guy has really been impressing everybody here today.
Yeah, he's risen to the opportunity he has here. Worldwide drivers, chance to take them all out. Great result. Unfortunate for Charles Ng, his entry straightening up, not getting that full angle immediately. I think the judges would have been very hard on that particular run from Charles Ng.
Throwing out every like bets on good drivers. Oh, you think that driver is good? I'll be better. Next one.
Yeah.
Oh, I will be better. In the semifinals, he will have like very hard job because he will be fighting against Yves Meyer or Masaru Kawabara.
That's right. Oh, wow. Okay, so either one of those guys would be a hard fight. So speaking of that, our next battle is about to begin.
Yes, and IDC 2018, what everyone wants to see is a Russia versus Japan match that could still happen, but in order for that to happen, Kawabata's going to have to take this one home and move on to the semifinals. Let's see if he can do it.
So our Swiss driver warming up in the tyre warm-up area. They have a small area to do some donuts, understeer circles, etc., to get some temperature into either the front or the rear tyres. Now I get the feeling that, yes, he's not going to really want to put too much temperature into the rear tyres. Strategy does play a part here.
But if there is someone very good in strategy, this guy is.
Yeah, I would say that right now the reason he didn't really do much in the way of burnouts there was he doesn't want too much rear grip. In these conditions, you don't want to have too much rear grip. You want more in the front. So warming up the rear tyres too much would be a disadvantage, especially in a big, heavy car like the GTR.
And here we go. Yves Meyer from Switzerland versus Masato Kawabata from Japan. Let's do it.
But you really cannot underestimate also that AGK power machine, because the Eurofighter can be serious.
That's right. We've already seen some good runs from Yves so far. Will he rise to the opportunity right now? In the lead position, Yves Meyer, not a very fast entry. Kawabata right there with him. Kawabata quite wobbly. What's that, a bit of a straight in there? Kawabata with car trouble. Kawabata pulling off the track. Is that some sort of transmission trouble for the GTR? Yves Meyer completing his run. We saw it as they came around the long right-hand sweeper in front of the crowd. The GTR wobbling. It looked like he wasn't putting the power down, and then all of a sudden pulled off the track.
He already had the technical issues yesterday in D1 GP, also for Fight 1 battle because of technical issues.
Right.
So maybe the technical issues are not repaired enough for today, and we have evening full of surprises.
Indeed.
So let's watch the chase car here. So the GTR, the rear end kicks out, straightens up a bit, kicks it out again, starts to straighten up, straightens up completely, complete loss of power, puff of flame out of the back, some sort of engine trouble perhaps, and pulls off. The car was able to complete driving around the course, so it probably wasn't some sort of transmission issue. Hopefully it wasn't a
Let's watch the rest of the Yves Meyer's run,
Yep.
if everything was okay there.
Yeah,
Because that was like slightly struggle with the angle at the final part. You see here the transition was not completely clear, let's say.
Yeah.
But still, he at least finished the rounds. What Masaru Kawabata did not.
Indeed.
So now we need to have an information if Masaru Kawabata will continue or not. But he's out of the car without the helmet and he doesn't look happy.
Yeah,
He said,
he is disappointed.
So engine trouble for Kawabata.
Oh, yep, he's now apologizing to everybody.
There you go. Apologizing to the crowd for not putting on a good show.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people are disappointed. They were really hoping for great things from him. It's an unfortunate way to lose a match.
Even we've been like hoping for nice battles
definitely.
from him, and this is really what we don't want to see, like drivers ending up because technical issues or crashes or things like this. This is really not the way.
I'm sure this is not how Yves Meyer wanted to win. Alexei, like you said, right? They want to make sure they can win straight.
But you know what? He's going to take it.
Oh yeah, he'll take. Oh
He'll
yeah,
take
he'll
it.
take it.
He'll take it.
I don't think he'll be like, no, I
It's
don't
on
want
such a
this.
level that I would say no. Nobody say no. Like, oh, I don't want to.
That sort of thing, it has happened sometimes in drifting competitions, but that won't happen today. I guarantee it. Of course, it's not the way that Yves would want to win, but Yves' performance so far definitely has been good enough to get him to where he is right now. So a well-deserved position into the semi-final for Yves in the
But
BMW.
win is win. It doesn't matter if
winning's-
it's inch or
Who said that? Winning's winning?
Vin Diesel,
Vin
Fast
Diesel
and
said it.
Furious.
Vin Diesel said it
It
in the
doesn't
Fast and
matter whether you
Furious.
win by an inch or a mile. Yeah.
That's right. You know, that movie came out in like 2001.
Yeah.
It's a long time ago.
it changed the game.
Oh yeah.
You know what was great about Fast and the Furious is how it started off as like, you know, a car movie and then it just became a heist movie for some reason.
It's like a James Bond heist movie now with gadget cars.
Superheroes, superpowers,
Supercars that can jump from one building to another. Yeah.
Why would you want all that when you can have like, you know, the cars we can see here right now? 1200 horsepower, smoke pouring out of them. Okay, let's watch this replay again. So a decent entry there from Yves. Not the best we've seen so far, but good. It would have been good enough. It was slow, but it was smooth.
We need to send him to Japan for some time.
He needs to learn.
That he will learn that flying initiation.
The flying initiation, yeah.
And then he would be like great.
There you go. What he needs to do, what Yves needs to do is win his next battle with Turkey, and then go up against Suinaga if Gotcha loses, and then he'll lose to Suinaga, and he'll be forced to learn how to do the flying entry because Suinaga will do it to him. He'll get so angry.
Oh, yeah.
You know how it works. You know.
Even Gotcha is like doing great.
Even Gotcha, but actually, yeah. Come to think of it, Suinaga and Gotcha have a very similar style.
So now, if Meyer were showing us that his technique is working, that he's capable of battling, so he can go through.
And there you have it, folks. Yves Meyer of Switzerland moves on to the semifinals. So unfortunately, we will not be seeing a Japan versus Russia showdown at the finals, but we will be seeing it at the semifinals. Gotcha versus Suinaga.
So next run now. Gotcha.
Yep. Gotcha versus Suinaga.
He's laying there because he had a motorcycle accident. He's the FI guy.
the FIA guy.
And of course, the surprise win by Chonatpon Kurd PM from Thailand, who will now be battling Yves Meyer from Switzerland in the semifinals. So we have got 4 countries representing 4 racers in the semifinals.
And speaking of that, speaking of Yves Meyer, I'd like to give a special shout out to Stu Murray, who's currently in the University Hospital in Geneva, watching us live.
Oh.
Unfortunately, he had a bit of an accident. He's one of the FIA guys in Switzerland. So good to have him watching us.
Thank you so much for watching, sir. We appreciate it.
And get well soon.
Yeah, please do.
So on screen right now, 3 very important people in Japanese drifting: Max Orido, Nobuteru Taniguchi, and of course on the right of screen, the DK Drift King Keiichi Tsuchiya. All of them here today giving their live commentary to the venue. Who's cheering?
Yeah, I believe it's the crowd,
It's
but
the
I don't
Russians.
know.
It's the Russians over there, look. They've got their flags out.
They woke up.
They woke up finally.
Looks like they finally,
Yeah.
yeah.
We couldn't even hear them before.
Oh, yep, there they are, right there. You can
There
see
you
the
go.
close-up now. I did see a lot of Russians walking around here, and I was wondering why they were so quiet today. Well, not anymore.
Not anymore. Gotcha is in the semi-final with Suinaga. This is going to be a battle. Both these guys, fairly similar cars, similar setup, and I've got to say, similar driving styles too.
Yeah.
I'm really eager to see that battle.
Oh.
Like,
but no
really
cheering
want
for
to see,
Suinaga?
because both drivers are on fire today.
Yeah, both. You've said that before. Suinaga's definitely on his game. Gotcha also 100% on his game today.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens? What do they say when a unstoppable force meets an immovable object?
Yeah, what happens?
I don't know. I think we're about to find out.
All right.
Gotcha versus Suinaga. No cheering for Suinaga.
Yeah, no cheering. That's what the Japanese commentator wanted to know.
He's not one of the, I guess, Suinaga's a very reserved kind of guy. Like, he doesn't tend to go for the whole famous drift driver thing. I think the fact that he works in the office at ABC Circuit, sort of, I guess he's very down to earth as far as that's concerned.
But on that level, he just needs to be like that.
I know. Well, I mean, it's just, some people just don't like that.
Well, you know, some people speak through actions and not words, right?
We're about to see that. Gotcha versus Suinaga. We're about to bring out the next battle. Really looking forward to this.
Yeah, and of course, on the other end of the spectrum, we have got Thailand versus Switzerland. I'm sure we didn't expect this coming.
So another lineup that's probably never been done before in drifting worldwide: Swiss versus
Thailand.
Thailand.
Yeah.
Has that ever had? I can't recall that
Nope.
ever happening before either.
First it was I never heard of Switzerland versus Mozambique. Now it's I never heard of Switzerland versus Thailand.
Here we go.
All right, so the first semifinal match we have got Georgi Chivchan, aka Gocha from Russia versus Naoto Suinaga from Japan. Russia versus Japan. Here we go.
All right, next battle now. We're down to the semi-final. Sylvia versus Sylvia, Japan versus Russia. 2JZ versus SR20. Gotcha in the lead position. The chase. Look at this entry.
Beautiful.
Beautiful entry. Both cars parallel. Really good battle so far. Gotcha, the absolute speed of this S15. But Suinaga tucking in, he's doing what he did before. Once again, switching back. A little bit of a wobble there from Gotcha in the lead position on the transition. Look at this chase from Suinaga. He's still there with him and over the finish line.
Oh, that was an incredible
for
run.
what I hope after this battle, that it will be definitely one more time. Because I want to see
You're not
that
wrong.
more. Like,
Yes.
this is like amazing drifting. Like,
This is what
this level
drifting's
of
all about.
drifting is really what we want to see, what we love to see. Those drivers are crazy. They're trying to be as close as possible. Initiation, crazy from both. Nice transitions. I love that.
Look at this, nice, just smooth driving from both of them. Suinaga matching the angle of the lead car. Switchback keeper. Watch the lead car. Watch Gotcha right about here. Surges forward. Right there, bit of a wobble there. Not too bad. I'm really picky. I'm trying to be picky here because both these drivers are driving very well.
Yeah, both these drivers through this section like chosen slightly different line, where Gotcha is like running inside and then now jumping out, when Suenaga was like driving all the way through the middle to make it slightly more safer.
Yeah.
But this is like again like fights between the European American style against the Japanese, where the Japanese are not used to like push the car through the clapping point and the zone, where the Russians are used to that. So there's like different styles, but
oh, and the Gotcha fans are going hog wild.
Russia.
Yeah, I don't know why they waited till now, but wow.
They woke up. Like maybe they had like hard yesterday evening.
They went out last night.
Saving their energy for the
Russians. So maybe
the Russians, of course, they went out.
I figure because it's down to the last Russian, they decided now's the time to make noise.
Yeah, it's now or never.
Okay. So before they were not like able to find out which one to cheer out, but now when they have the last
they know.
one.
Now that it's
okay, makes sense.
Now that one Russian is advanced to the semifinals, it's all about him now.
So back up to the start line. This time Suenaga will be in the lead position. Gotcha in the chase. I'm predicting violence from Gotcha.
And here we go.
There will be violence in the chase position. I'm predicting the suicide line up the inside, a deep dive up the inside of the first corner. Here we go. Lead driver Suenaga, Japan. Chase Gotcha from Russia. Suenaga getting run into from the rear.
We definitely will need to see that again because there was some
that
mistake
again.
there.
This run is still going. It's still running. Both of the cars are still going. The switchback. Gotcha right there with him. A little bit lacking in angle compared to Suenaga.
Like Gotcha's car is falling apart of those hits.
He doesn't care. He's still going at 100% throttle. There you go. What did I say about violence? Let's watch the entry here. So Suenaga flicking it in. So Suenaga actually taking a very similar line to what he's always been doing all day.
Yeah,
nothing too odd there.
Changed it.
I'm not sure what Gotcha was going for there with that entry. He went very wide out towards the wall.
But what you can see there was like falling parts from the front bumper of Gotcha before that hit. So maybe they touched together.
Yeah.
And if it's true, then it will not be good for Gotcha.
That's right.
And definitely it's way better visible from the judges' tower because they just had it like in front of their eyes. So we need to just believe them to decide in that case.
That's right. So that entry there, interesting entry there from both these drivers. Suenaga going for that fairly simple straight line entry like he's been doing all day. Gotcha, I don't know, I think he was trying to sort of go far wide to the left and then cut across to the right to try and dive in.
Maybe there will be enough mistakes to make it one more time.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah, that would be good.
I mean, all they're going to do is put some tape on the front of Gotcha's car, send it back out. I'm sure the damage caused by that collision hasn't really affected the suspension.
And if there will be one more time, they will be even more aggressive.
Oh, you're getting me excited now.
Well, one thing's for sure, this is not disappointing anybody.
Yeah, but I'm a little bit afraid that will be decision. Because you can see really like this front bumper is falling apart, throwing the parts before that hit. So yeah, that was definitely contact there. But there is actually a deceleration zone, so the lead car is able to slow down there. But the question is if the slowing down was in lines of what he can do there.
Right.
But this is basically on those three judges who are standing on the judging tower there. I'll just say one more time who is the judge this time.
Yep.
It's Ryan Lantaine from Canada, who's judging normally Formula Drift. It's Dmitry Dobrovolsky, who's judging RDS, Russian Drift Series. And it's Kamimoto-san, who is judging D1.
Kamimoto, yeah, sorry.
D1 GP Japan.
Yeah, so one Canadian judge who judges generally in America, but he's also been heading all around the world recently, places like Brazil.
Sweden. He was
He
even
was
in
in Sweden,
Göteborg.
right?
Yeah.
Yep. All around the world, he's judging in all sorts of places. I've got the Russians appealing for a one more time.
I think
they're
they're saying
appealing for
Gocha,
Gocha.
Gocha.
Oh, Gocha, is
Yeah.
it?
It does sound like one more time, though, doesn't it?
I thought they were just. I didn't know what they were saying. I just thought they were trying to get them to do it one more time.
Maybe it's just too hard for you to understand Slavic languages.
There are a lot of them.
Yeah, yeah. Wait, does Czech count as a Slavic language? No.
Yes.
It is?
Yes.
Oh, okay, it is. Okay, I didn't know that.
There are a lot of Slavic languages when you think about it.
Well, I was just, like I was telling you before, I was just in Poland the other week and I couldn't understand a single, I was trying to understand what they were saying. I couldn't understand a single word, just that they speak so fast.
So it will be for you completely similar with Czech.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Well, most of them could speak English anyway, so.
Yep.
Also, a very good drift scene in Poland. I quite enjoyed that too.
Huge one.
Yeah.
There is amazing. You go there,
Yeah.
small event, 100 drivers,
Yeah.
easily.
Yeah.
And if you have 100 drivers, you need to drive really crazy to
Yeah.
be in top 32.
Right.
That's why I'm quite disappointed that we cannot see any Polish driver here.
Yeah.
But hopefully next year we will just push someone. We just need to throw some Polish here to show us how it's
Throw.
drifting in Poland.
Let's hope Poland throws some drivers our way next
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
Look, it
Would love to see some.
It is the FIA Intercontinental Drifting Cup. The idea for this is to be held all around the world in a standardized drifting format. So hopefully in the future we'll be able to see
And
this. And
also,
look,
if you can hear Russians there cheering,
Yep.
imagine Polish people. They're
Right.
all around the world. So definitely somewhere in Japan there will
Okay.
be also some Polish people.
Right.
So everybody will come and cheer even more.
oh, they'll all come here. Okay. Well, I'll be looking forward to seeing that.
That will be interesting. Yeah, but I'm not surprised it's taking judges a while to decide this one. This is really hard.
Yeah, now you really need to go through all those videos. Now we need to speak a lot together. Explain to each other every single point of this both battles. And you're not looking only on the second one where there was some contact and a lot of problems, but you also need to look on the first one to be completely sure that it's okay.
Yeah.
And you're comparing lead to lead and chase to chase.
Yeah.
There's also something different from other series where you
Right.
have points from the first run and points from the second run. But here you're putting lead run to lead run, chase run to chase run, and from that you will need to find the results.
Indeed.
So Suinaga, he did straighten after that collision. Whether that was, they say that was caused by being hit from behind or whether that was just his natural mistake, because he did go in there with a lot of angle. We have seen other drivers who went in with that angle straighten up before or lose their drift as they go around the long sweeping corner.
And this is the question of weight of finals.
Right.
So this is very hard to answer that question, and you need to be more than 100% sure to answer that.
Oh, looks like Chia-san would like to do this one more time.
He'd like to see it one more time. To be honest, I would too.
I think everybody would.
If they will say that cheer for one more time, I would cheer for that.
Yeah. If they said cheer for one more time, I think the Russians would drown everybody else out.
You never know, they might be up for it. Oh, okay, we got the results. Let's see.
So one judge. What?
Oh, C goes to Gocha.
So two judges in favor of a one more time, one judge in favor of
Gocha. Oh, so what's going to happen?
So what the rules for this competition, how does that work? Does it work for the majority
To be honest,
giving a
I'm
one
not
more
sure.
time?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
That was
What?
big
That's-
discussion about if it is minority or majority.
Oh, okay.
To decide in this
I thought
case.
that's why you were here.
I know, but I'm not sure. I'm to be honest, I think that even the judges are not sure
Oh,
how
okay.
it is now. So now they need to decide.
Maybe that's why they're
how
talking about it
will
right
go.
now. Yeah, how they're going to do this. So we have two judges in favor of running it
that's
again.
why we saw this screen so long, because now they
Yeah.
need to decide.
They need to decide what
whether
they're
it's
gonna do.
Majority or minority decision.
So So as you said before, in the Russian drifting series, in this case, it would be Gotcha getting the win because two judges undecided.
Masters or Formula Drift
Right.
or somewhere else, it will be one more time.
Okay. So there we go. We have it official.
We are gonna do it one more time.
It's one more time?
It is one more
We're
time.
doing one more time.
Hey, we get to
So
see
now we will see even more aggressive.
more
now.
aggressive
More
driving.
aggressive
Really eager to
driving.
see that, like, yeah, our prayers were just like really cursed.
We got to, yeah, we have, well, why don't we just start? Let's just say we need it one more time for everything now so we can see more driving.
Well, you know, in all fairness, one more time was the majority vote, so.
It was.
I hope
So
that
there you go.
our audience like that, like our decision before the
Hey,
battle even
hey,
starts.
we're giving them bonus drifting for their money.
You know, unfortunately, I cannot read Cyrillic, so I don't know if many of the Russians that are watching this now are in favor of it or not, but there are some all caps, isn't there?
Perhaps it was the Drift King putting in his word, saying, "I'd like to see it one more time," and maybe that's what made them decide to do it. I
And
don't
what
know.
the Drift King says happens.
That's, yeah. Well, he was a judge for a very long time for the domestic D1 Grand Prix series.
Like but he's like more like emperor.
The Drift Emperor now.
The Drift Emperor.
He sits upon his throne and calls, make them do it one more time.
I don't know. I always get
See
the
bit of contact there in the rear end of
this is the
Surinaga's
contact
car.
what I was
Just a quick
speaking
repair
about.
there.
Like also in contact, like, but the best friend of drifters are duct tapes and zip ties.
Zip ties. Yep. That's it.
And they're using at this moment like colorful duct tapes that they're at the same color as the car.
Did you see before, I had a look at Yokoi's car that was repaired this morning. The duct tape that was applied to the rear boot lid was black to match the black boot lid, and the one that was attached to the rear bumper was blue, like the blue car. They were color coding. It was one big chunk of tape all taped together, but it was still color coded correctly.
Yeah, that's the right way to go.
Yeah.
We were using it, for example, even where we're truck daying on Nordschleife.
Right.
We hit it one M2,
Yeah.
and we just made the bumper almost completely out of duct tape, and we used like white and black one to like make the grill and everything.
Oh, really? Okay.
And because they will just throw you out. They will see the cars
Oh, I
crash,
see,
they will
yeah.
throw you out. But on the video, the
Yeah.
car looked like stock, so they let us like drive it more.
I did see one time too in a D1 Grand Prix competition, a car had crashed and destroyed the wing mirror. And the next day, they'd repaired the car fairly well, and they'd constructed a wing mirror out of cardboard boxes, orange tape, and silver, sort of what do you call it? Like that silver
spray.
No. It's the tape you use on like
Aluminium tape?
Yeah, aluminium tape. They made the mirror out of aluminium tape, so from a distance it looked like an actual wing mirror, even though it wasn't functional. But they wanted it for appearances. It's quite funny.
You know, I mean, duct tape has got to be one of the most underrated items on the planet. It's so useful in so many ways.
Yeah, if it moves and it shouldn't, duct tape.
Duct tape.
Yeah, this is also another thing about drift cars. You know, drift car needs to look shiny and nice from the distance.
Yeah.
But from close up, it can look like pretty bad.
It's the 10-meter rule. If you stand 10 meters back and look at it, it's like, yeah, it's fine. That's good
Then
enough.
It's good enough.
That's good enough.
Exactly.
Can you tear duct tape just with your fingers, or do you have to use your teeth?
I have to use my fingers.
Like, can you just rip it like that?
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
You can do it? Okay.
Yeah.
Some people can't do it.
Oh.
Some
Really?
people some people just, they can't get, like, you got to get that one motion. You can tell it's a drift driver. They don't have to look. They just rip it and put it down. Yeah. But some people they end up using their teeth all the time. They can't do it.
Maybe about experience.
I think so. I don't know. It's a
If
technique.
you're a drifter, you have like a lot
You
of
have to do it.
experience
Oh,
with,
yeah,
with duct tape, so you should do that.
There's other tricks too, like sometimes if you have to put a cable tie around a small narrow space, you wrap it around a screwdriver and then pull it tight, so you take it off and it curls up, so you can just feed it around things easily. Like all these little tricks you learn as you go through drifting.
And working, you start with zip ties that you keep the closing end on the top, then you're making it from the
On
bottom
the
to
inside,
close
so
it.
you can't see it, so it's
So
nice
there's
and
like
neat.
different levels
Yeah,
of using
that's
zip
right.
ties.
That's it. Okay, so I think we've just given the two drivers a chance to repair their cars before we move on to the one more time.
I think we're hearing some fans cheering Naoto, Naoto. Looks like Suenaga's finally getting his own cheering squad.
You're right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you hear that? It's
So
a few ladies who are
that would
shouting
be
it.
not even only battle of the cars, but also battle of the fans.
Battle of the fans. I think Suenaga fans are like, we got to step up. We have
So
to
he's
make it
stepping
happen.
up the game.
Granted, it only sounds like 2 or 3 people, but still, it's a start, you
Yeah,
know.
but they're quite noisy.
They are.
You can hear them. And it looks like Gocha fans are quiet for now. Maybe they're saving their energy.
I'm sure when he comes out, they'll all be standing up. Yeah, it's quite a difference between Japanese crowds and overseas crowds. They don't tend to get too rowdy unless instructed to.
Oh, maybe somebody instructed them to.
I think so. I think one of the Team Orange guys probably ran over there. They knew they had some friends and said,
Anyways,
start cheering now.
It's making good atmosphere here.
Yeah. So we should see these guys out fairly soon.
You know, it just occurred to me that the fans are sitting right in front of a building that says Tokyo International Exchange Center.
Yeah, I'm living
Interesting.
there.
Oh, okay. Well, this is very much an international exchange, don't you think? Yeah. Today's yesterday and today.
Yeah, it's there's a lot of foreign students over there. And you're staying there as well, right opposite the facility. Here at Odaiba.
Okay, looks like we're ready to go. Gocha versus Naoto Suenaga, the one more time match. Let's see who takes this one home.
All right, here we go. We're going to send them there one more time. We wanted to see this one more time. Gocha versus Suenaga. This time Gocha in the lead position. Ooh. A hard flick, very violent entry from Gocha. But Suenaga right there with him the entire time. Look at this parallel S15, yellow,
Splash
orange.
of water.
Spraying water everywhere. Gocha's wipers going at full speed. Watch the switch back here. A little bit of a hard throw there. Oh, a mistake there from the chase Suenaga. He straightens up a bit, cuts the course. That could be a fatal error for Suenaga in the chase. See, Suenaga is usually generally stronger in the chase position.
Actually, I don't know what Gocha did with his rear tires, but he rised up the grip. The car is so much faster than it was. Like, Suenaga is doing his best to keep up. He's like very close here and also slightly later, but Gocha is so fast. The car has so much grip that it moves incredibly.
You're right. He seems to have done something, sprinkled some sort of fairy dust over it to make it faster. Watch the switch back here. And watch the chase car, Suenaga.
Oh, and looks like it's getting a bit windy and it's blowing a whole bunch of water off the tent right next to us.
This is like a huge mistake by Suenaga.
Yeah, that is a big mistake. That could be
We want to see it like to be decided by very close battle, not mistakes. But those mistakes suck.
Well, we still have one more to go. Unfortunately, yeah, I guess that's one of the things about these half-wet conditions is causes a lot more mistakes. So adjusting the tire pressure there on the rear, maybe it was a bit too high.
Funky stickers on that orange team car.
Yeah, the Team Orange sponsored by Ukes. It's actually a software company. They're most well known in Japan for making pro wrestling video games. Believe it or not. Yeah, but,
Did you play them?
I played one of them.
Are they any good?
They're pretty fun. They're sort of like like unofficial, pro wrestling, like Japanese pro wrestling video games. Well, they are official, but yeah, they're kind of funny. They also
sounds weird.
I know. Well, I mean, but also back in the day, Ukes also made a D1 Grand Prix drifting video game. It was on PlayStation 2. It was actually available worldwide. It had the voice of today's commentator Arito, also the Drift King, and another commentator who's also here today,
All right.
Manapi.
Here we go, run 2.
So second run now.
Oh, they changed the music.
So there was a mistake by Suenaga in the chase on the very end of the course in his chase position. So just resetting. Looks like Gocha may have jumped the start.
Yep.
They do have a drag style light which extinguishes to signal them to go.
Yeah, but still, it's not completely like drug race start to the initiation because the leader have slightly longer distance to go to the initiation.
And
so
here
it's
we
way
go.
easier for the chaser to keep up.
That's right. So lead car now, this time Suinaga entering this time. There we go, nice entry, Gotcha tucking in. That's what Gotcha wanted to do in his first run. Now all Gotcha needs to do is just keep this clean the entire run, and he'll have this. Suinaga, a bit of a wobble there too. A couple of mistakes from Suinaga. Gotcha, clean run from Gotcha, parallel with Suinaga. No problem for the chase car, flicking it back.
What a beautiful run by these two racers.
This is what Gotcha wanted to do on the first run. I think
Great run from Gotcha.
Great run from Gotcha.
Great run.
He's keeping it close. I don't know what he did to the car during the pause, but the car is slightly better, more grip,
Yeah.
and it's working. Working pretty good.
Yeah, it really is.
Okay, we got the results. That was quick.
That was quick.
All right, let's see.
1, 2,
Gotcha, and Gotcha advances to the finals. Russia wins this round.
Like it was said before, drifting is one mistake sport, and this time Suinaga did it.
Yeah, Suinaga made that one little mistake on his chase run. Very unfortunate for him. It would have been another one more time if it wasn't for that mistake, I'd have to say.
Indeed, congratulations to Gotcha.
And now we have quite surprising battle. Like, if you ask me at the beginning of this race, oh, do you think those two guys will be in semifinals? I would say, I don't think so. Like, not especially like both of them.
Yeah.
But they're there.
Yep.
They're both surprises, both great drivers.
Speaking of which, here we go. Chanatbom Kurtpiam from Thailand versus Yves Meyer from Switzerland. Semifinal, match 2.
Kurtpiam in the Toyota Altezza. Yves Meyer, the BMW M2. So Yves will be in the lead position on this first run. Sorry, Kurtpiam will be in the lead position in this first run. Nice entry. What did Kurtpiam put in his coffee this morning? But look at this chase run from Yves Meyer. Falling back a little bit. This Kurtpiam running very wide. Yves Meyer taking advantage of that, but Kurtpiam once again rocketing forward. It's back and forth between these two on this battle. Final switchback over the finish line. That was like a double wall run from these two.
What we saw in this battle was that we had really nice initiation by the leader and not that great initiation by the chaser. But then the chaser starting to close up that battle, like trying to get as much close as possible. Both drivers completely on the wall, tapping the wall, very, very close. And then again, Yves Meyer is starting to lose slightly when he gets back, and then the separation starts again. Like, I don't know what happened with that Thai driver, but he was not that great.
Not before,
He was nowhere near that good
and
in
now
the beginning.
He rised up the game. He like woke up. He was like sleeping, or somebody changed him. I don't know. Like, tell me what to do to change that much in a few hours.
This has been the biggest surprise of today by far.
Yeah, and also going by his performance last year at the FIA, it was sort of okay, not great, but this time you're going to have to up that rating a bit. Doing really well, Kurtpiam in the Toyota Altezza.
Now let's see if Kurtpiam will advance to the finals or if it's going to be Yves Meyer.
So this time Yves Meyer in the lead. really needs to get this entry just right. Right, here we go, entering the course. Nice entry from the lead car, Yves Meyer. Kurt Piam lacking a lot of angle, catching up at a minimal angle from the chase. Oh, colliding with the lead car and spinning out.
Oh, that collision cost him.
The thing is that he just overshot it. You know, he saw there is a gap, he tried to close it down, but sometimes if you're trying to close down the gap, you just pull too much or push too much, and then you're getting too fastly in, and then you just overshoot it.
Yep.
Touched your opponent.
I was going to say that's the exact word. Is overshoot is what he did. So watch this entry here. Decent for the lead car. Now he starts losing angle here and starts trying to catch up.
Yeah, exactly. As you said, like he's trying to close that gap, smaller angle, getting inside, and he forgets that there is a diesel zone.
That's it.
Yves Meyer used that diesel zone, and he did not. That's the reason of the collision.
That's right.
Yeah,
it's
and
unfortunate.
I mean, you know, we were just speaking of jinxing. We were just talking about how good Kurt Piam had become, and whoops.
Yeah, we just
we really should stop talking about these things.
Who should we start talking? Who don't we like? Who should we start talking up? So does this mean this could potentially be a final between Gotcha and our Swiss driver?
That's correct.
Russia versus
it could
Switzerland.
Be Russia versus
Switzerland.
Europe versus Europe in a Japanese sport.
It's the FIA Intercontinental Drifting Cup. Okay, so we have a result.
Okay, all right. Meyer, yep, it's a clean sweep. Yves Meyer of Switzerland advances to the finals. Kurt Piam showed so much hustle, but unfortunately right at the end, he faltered. And we got an interview. And that was a Swiss trademark right there, folks.
That was actually as much Swiss as you can make it.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
There's nothing more Swiss than that.
Well, unless he was eating like chocolate while he was doing the interview.
Oh, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Okay, so we are about to take a very short break before we get to the final, the third place battle and the final battle. We'll be back very shortly. We're going to go to an interview with Ryan Lantane and Robbie Nishida to give you some insight to the background of the FIA Intercontinental Drifting Cup. So stay with us. We'll be right back with the third place and final battles. Good morning, everyone. Hello, my name is Alexi Smith. I'm here at Odaiba today for the FIA Intercontinental Drifting Cup. I'm here with Ryan Lantane, one of the judges.
Hello, everybody.
So we're here today at the Odaiba venue for the FIA IDC. Now, this event, it's been held twice so far. This is the second time this event has been held. And as you all know, FIA, the world's highest motorsports body holding drifting. So this is the second inaugural event. We have drivers from all over the world. Of course, yesterday we had a drifting competition here today for the local series, but today we have drivers from all parts of the world, including Japan, countries as close as Russia, and as far away as the African continent. So really looking forward to that. So, Ryan, how has this event evolved from the event last year?
Well, one of the biggest changes we've made is in the judging structure. Last year we were using an electronic judging system. This year we're using judges. So our human judges are going to be here judging line, angle, and style as opposed to looking at the outputs of a computer system. So that's the major change that we've made this year. Another thing that we've done is put outside zones and inside clips on the course. So we have 6 scored areas, we have 3 outside zones, we have 3 inside clips as well. And that's going to make for a different driving style than we've had in the past, I think, with the IDC. So we're really looking for these drivers to throw the car at the wall. And unfortunately, this morning we had a few crashes into the wall. Yokoi, who was one of the front runners, I think, here in practice at least, is, I think, going to bow out of competition due to the damage to his car. So at outside zone 1, he got the car to angle, and it unfortunately made pretty heavy contact with the wall. Kawabata also made contact in the same area, but I think he managed to keep it off the wall and only has a little bit of damage to the back of the car. And then S as well from Thailand, I believe, also made contact in outside zone 2, though. I think he might be able to fix his car, but we've had some drama for sure. You know how it is, adapting to a new type of driving and judging style with those outside zones being heavy concrete walls that are about 4 feet tall. So it's not easy for the drivers to adapt, but I think they're doing a pretty good job today of doing that.
Okay, so a style of judging more in line with the international standards, but and also a course that is very high level and difficult for these guys. So this will really show who can adapt to a worldwide style of drift. So you mentioned a few of the drivers before. Who are the heavy hitters coming into today's competition?
Well, watching practice, Yokoi was one of the favorites, I think, coming into practice today. But unfortunately, in the session this morning, kind of put that car on the wall, so that might knock him out. Kawabata was looking pretty good as well. The car is very planted and very fast, so he's able to get the thing to angle very quickly and is confident getting out to those walls. So he looked really good. Another standout driver was Tengku Jian from Malaysia. He is using one of Daigo Saito's cars, one of his JZX. And unfortunately, he ended up with some engine trouble on day 1. Blew the motor. They had to take the car back to Daigo Saito's shop, and they put a new engine in it. He's back here today and is doing very well. He's very comfortable in that car, considering he only had 5 laps in it before coming here to competition. But he's looking great, very confident, getting the car out to the zones that are not easy to get out to. So those walls are very scary for a lot of drivers. But a lot of them are adapting pretty quickly. Who else is standing out in our field? We have a driver, like you said, from South Africa. We have a driver from Switzerland who has an HGK BMW, one of those Eurofighters. That car looks incredible on the track, and he's coming to terms with it pretty quickly. It seems like he's getting comfortable with it. It's not an easy car to drive, and I think this is only his second year drifting, so it's a big step up for him to come to an event like this where he's expected to get really close to those walls and throw that really beautiful carbon Kevlar body right up on the concrete.
Well, I really think it's a good opportunity, this event, for a lot of international drivers to be exposed to a lot of other international drivers, a lot of styles, techniques, and a bit of a different environment, which is going to push the sport forward, which is really what the idea is for the FIA, is to create a worldwide level of drifting that could be held anywhere around the world, right?
Yeah, you're right. It's really getting these drivers comfortable with one another, with the judging system. And the judging system is one that has been evolving, not only from last year's actual system, but throughout the off-season, we've gone through different versions of the rules. We have a very big group of international organizers, judges, promoters that are involved in trying to build the new judging system. And it's been very taxing, trying for us, because we have so many people involved, and we have different series from around the world that have different ideas of how it should be done. So what we ended up with is a pretty rich blend of ideas and thoughts from all around the world, which I think is giving this that international flair that the FIA was going for.
We'll see never-ending story of international motorsport, these sort of issues, but looking forward to a really good event here today at Odaiba. Hope you enjoy it.
to go with the third place match. Naoto Suenaga from Japan versus Chanatpom Kurtpiam from Thailand. Let's see who's going to score third place.
Yeah, so both these guys doing really well today. Chanatpom Kurtpiam unfortunately getting knocked out. But this is a good opportunity for him to go up against Naoto Suenaga. Let's see how he can do against Naoto. Look at this entry from Naoto. He wants this third place, but Kurtpiam right there with him.
Oh, they both want it.
They both want this really hard. Okay, into the bottom hairpin. Kurtpiam, once again, he's got to be careful not to make contact like he did before. Switching back, surging forward. Kurtpiam, very aggressive run. Suenaga, good on the entry, but the rest of the course just seems to be playing it fairly safe. But Kurtpiam attacking at every opportunity. Let's watch the replay.
Oh, great run by both drivers.
This is the thing, like, he got, again, amazing initiation, which we really love. But then he just played it slightly safe, like, not exactly in the line where he should be. You know, it was not perfect run. If we look on the chase run, he was not able to copy this amazing initiation, but then he started to work his pace to get closer and closer and closer. He even gets almost too close again, but he managed it way better this time.
Yeah, so a great entry from the lead car, the orange Sylvia of Suenaga. But the chase driver, Kurtpiam, the rest of the course, very aggressive, taking every opportunity to attack Suenaga to make up for any mistakes. Take advantage of Suenaga's fairly conservative drive through the rest of the track. We have one more battle to go, this time Suenaga in the chase position. This is where he's generally stronger than Kurtpiam in this battle.
And unfortunately, it has started to rain once again. It's been touch and go this whole afternoon and evening.
Yeah, so
that means that we will have finals on really falling rain.
Yep.
Is that good?
I don't know. Like,
it's
it
dramatic.
Doesn't matter. Like,
it is dramatic. You're right. It would make it think for a very dramatic end to the day.
Okay, here we go. Third place match, run 2.
So this time Suenaga, the right of screen, chase position. Kurtpiam in the Altezza. Here comes the entry. Another very good entry. Kurtpiam surging forward. Very wide out to the edge of the track. Suenaga needs to get more aggressive right now. This is his last chance. Kurtpiam possibly with a bit of an advantage right now. The switch back, there's not a whole lot of time for Suenaga. Once again, a bit of an ugly. Oh, and some smoke coming out from underneath the S15. Some weird driving from there from Suenaga. I wonder what that was. He went across maybe a dry patch on the track.
Oh, you could smell it from here.
I think that he just pushed so much power on the ground at the one place that it just started to smoke. But this is the thing. Like, Suenaga all day was not running exactly where he should, like in case of zones.
Right.
When the Altezza was like completely in the first outside zone, it was like scraping the wall. So definitely better lead run from Altezza for the first part. And if we look on the chase part, like chase position, he was trying to get the close, but was it the same like in the first run? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. So with the three of us, I think it's leaning slightly
and
towards.
We have got the results.
We have a result. There we go. 1,
Kurtpiam,
2,
Kurtpiam.
and 3.
Oh, and third place goes to Thailand. Chanatkom Kurtpiam. So unlike last year, Japan has not been able to score any of the top 3 positions.
There you go. That's interesting. We have third place going to Thailand, as you just said. Chanatpom Kurtpiam in the Altezza,
and do you know
scoring
also
third place.
What is good about that Kurtpiam is on third position? That
What's
the Czech guy was beaten by the third guy, so it's not that bad.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Right. Yeah, well, that is one of the things about drifting is when you get beaten by somebody, you want them to come first in the entire competition. So then you can say, well, he ended up coming first, so
I never had a
lost
chance. With the winner.
I lost to the winner, you know.
Well, Czech Republic,
true.
Congratulations, you saved face today.
There you go. All right, so our third place battle won by the Thai entrant Kurt Piam. So we have one more battle to go here. That is for the podium first and second place for the 2018 Intercontinental Drifting Cup here in Tokyo.
Gocha versus Meyer. And it's almost like the weather was planning to rain right at this time to, like, you know, make it cool.
Just make it dramatic.
Yep.
A dramatic end to the day.
I think it's
Gocha
more
versus
that
Meyer.
Japan is crying that they don't have
That-
the
that they
driver
don't have
in the finals.
That's very dramatic, isn't it?
The mass crying.
So our final battle, Gocha from Russia versus
Okay.
Meyer.
Oh, looks like we're ready to go. All right, folks, you heard it. It is the final battle. Gocha versus Yves Meyer, Russia versus Switzerland. Is Russia or Switzerland going to take home the 2018 FIA Intercontinental Drift Cup? And here we go.
The first battle between these two. Gocha, it's been very aggressive all day. But Yves, the black horse of today's competition, performing very well. Huge entry from Gocha. We expect nothing less from this man by this point. But Yves Meyer right there with him. Less than a car's distance between the two of them. Yves Meyer starting to catch up in the hairpin. Yves right there with Gocha. The switchback, Yves Meyer once again surges forward. We've Gocha very wide, fast line, leaving Yves Meyer behind. Switching back once again and over the finish line. What an amazing final battle.
A very solid first run.
That was like more than solid run. Look on Gocha's initiation, like run after run after run. He's doing completely the same. That amazing initiation. Yves Meyer was like maybe too fast before the initiation, so he needed to slow down and then his initiation was sacrificed by that.
Yeah.
So then he was trying to get again the pace, but he was not able to mount of grip which that S15 on the water have.
Yeah.
I know that Eurofighter is a very grippy car, but on that water is also based on the tires, based on the work with the throttle, which Gocha is doing like slightly better. Maybe even not slightly better, just better.
Just better. So we have Gocha, the Russian driver in the Japanese car with the 4-cylinder turbo engine, and the Swiss driver with a Lithuanian-built... Latvian, sorry. A Latvian-built race car from Germany. When we're talking about Intercontinental, we really mean it.
And the drone is up in the air, but looks like the cars are not quite ready to go just yet.
We've got one of Gocha's team members.
Oh, look at that.
It's starting to sound like a soccer match here.
Yeah.
A football match, I should say. Got the Russians there.
In a few minutes,
we need those cheers, yeah.
For some reason, the Russians have quietened down a bit.
They're going to wait until their boys on the start line.
Oh, never mind. No, I'm hearing it. Gocha, Gocha. They're chanting it.
They are cheering.
Yep.
And this is like funny thing, like you have S15 SR powered, 4 cylinders against like V8 7 liters, 900 naturally aspirated horsepower, and SR20 have more power, like more grip, more speed. This is the wet conditions. They can definitely change.
And here we go, the final run.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the final run of the 2018 FIA Intercontinental Drifting Cup. Gocha versus Meyer. This time Meyer will lead. Gocha in the chase position. Very deep entry from both these guys. Meyer all the way out. Gocha a little bit shallow, but he's still right there with Yves Meyer. He's not going to lose a whole lot of points for that. Into the bottom part of the course. Yves Meyer doing very well. The switch back here. Gocha's going to surge forward once again. There you go. Nice line. Wow. Great chase run from Gocha. Switching back once again. Gotcha's still right there with him and over the finish line.
What an incredible run by Gocha.
I was expecting like slightly better run from Gocha. It was just underestimating Yves Meyer. Like Yves Meyer just this time threw the initiation pretty nicely, and Gocha was like not following that nicely how we are used to see him follow.
Yeah.
Then he's trying to catch up, but he was using the same line as Yves Meyer was using.
Yeah.
So this is like plus for him. After those transitions, he's trying to still stick on him, but he's using slightly smaller angle, just some changes to the angle. He used the smaller angle to get in, then he opened it up, and he's again lost something, lost the distance, then again smaller angle, and it was not that fluent as we want to really see.
Yeah, it wasn't as, like you said, yeah, fluid as Gocha usually is, but still, it was a very aggressive run. He was able to, it looked fairly dominant compared to the Swiss driver.
Yeah, in behind.
And it seems like a lot of our viewers on YouTube are already prematurely saying congratulations, Gocha. But I guess we will never know until the judges release their results.
I guess it's a fairly safe guess at this point, but
I think so.
You never know.
But you really never know.
Hey guys, we just cannot say something like this, because if we will tell something like this, it will be the opposite way.
We don't know. We'd just like to say at this point, we don't know who has won yet. We find out when you find out. Yves revving his engine as he drives around the course, coming down to the front of the stage where they will announce the winner.
And there's Gocha waving to his legion of fans. Well, this has certainly been a very unexpected final match, hasn't it?
Russia, Switzerland, and then Thailand.
Thailand, yeah.
There you go.
Could not have predicted that lineup. I thought for sure it was, I mean, well, the big anticipation on everyone's minds was a showdown between Russia and Japan, and we did indeed get that at the semifinals.
Yeah, we got it just a bit too early.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. They were very exciting, but of course, all that matters is who gets through to the final.
But as I can say from my perspective, like best battle, I would say Suenaga against Gocha. Like that was something from.
That was very exciting. It was very well. It was evenly
Definitely.
balanced.
Yeah, that was same cars, different setups. So yeah, that was like really great.
That was probably the match of the day. But taking nothing away from these two guys, they battled their way all the way through, especially Maya, doing a very good job.
Like if you look on those two guys, like Gocha came here to win.
Yep.
We definitely can say
Oh
that.
yeah.
If Meyer,
No?
I think he would be like happy even with top 4 or top 8.
Well, I think.
But he's there standing with Gocha from the final, so he's really surprised of this evening.
So a pleasant surprise for sure. Look at that. He's been smiling the whole time right now. He's probably going to have a very sore face tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, maybe Yves Meyer shouldn't have yodeled too soon.
It's actually also unnatural to see Swiss guy like smiling. They're not smiling.
Oh, really?
But you know, the Swiss do have a sense of humor, kind of like the way the Germans do. It's very inconspicuous, but you can see it if you look hard enough.
He's like, yeah, dude, I almost had you. And then you slid out like that, and then I came in there. Yeah, but I thought you had me there, but no.
Two almost I had you.
The usual conversation.
I mean, they're both really, really nervous, but probably also quite relieved that it's over. They don't have to race anymore.
But I'm not happy about that. I want to see more.
You want to see more of that?
You want to see more of that?
Times. There you go. Good show of sportsmanship between these two. Good to see them both here. Clean driving all the way through from both of them as well.
And here they are waving at their fans as preparations for the awards ceremony are being undertaken on the main stage. And once things are ready to go, then they're going to make the big announcement.
That's his father?
Yeah. Actually, I think he's here only with his father and mother. And I didn't even saw his mechanics.
Okay.
But definitely he has some. Or I think there is possible that he had borrowed mechanics from Daigo.
That is possible. Yeah, Daigo does have a sort of a support rental service. He was out. Daigo Saito was out here this weekend supporting a few drivers.
Yeah, because this car was sent to Fed 5. It was prepared there and then
it was sent there first.
Yeah.
Oh, that was that car. I see. I saw it on the internet. I didn't know it was that exact car.
But he got also his Eurofighter.
Back in Switzerland.
No.
Oh.
Daigo.
Oh, Daigo's got his own one.
Yeah.
That's a different one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's like at this moment there's
quite
like
a few.
Lot of Eurofighters. They are building like 12 of them per year.
Right.
So now they are building them for second year. So you have somewhere 24 Eurofighters at least. And actually, if you count the money for what you can buy that car, it's quite good money for volume.
And how much does it cost?
You need to ask.
Right,
HGK.
well, if you have to ask, it's good value. How much does it cost? Well, if you have to ask, it's too much.
Guys, I've just been informed by the Japanese announcers that they do have the results in.
Okay, so we're about to find the result for that final battle.
Here we go. Okay.
It's here. It's here.
Intercontinental Drifting Cup 2018. The winner is.
Yep. Indeed, the winner is Gocha from Russia, who has scored a clean sweep against Yves Meyer of Switzerland. Well, I guess we all kind of saw that coming, but still.
It was not completely obvious, but it was expected.
Yeah.
I think Meyer himself knew it. I mean.
Yeah, but I think that he's more than happy with second place.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like, I would be on his position.
I mean, but Gocha, he was on fire. He scored the top score in the solo runs and ended up winning the tournament. What a clean sweep for Gocha.
So there you have the results there. First place, second place, and of course in third place from Thailand, Chanatpom Kurtpiam.
Which was a real pleasant surprise as well.
He was doing very well all day today, ending up in third place.
And what was impressive about Kurt Piam is he kind of slipped up a bit at the semifinals, but then when it became the third place match, he was right back on track again.
I think that today during the race we had like a lot of surprises and a lot of unexpected results. Even in battles where we said, okay, that's quite obvious what will happen, and it was not.
No.
It just proved us wrong.
So of course last year, the 2017, the original FIA IDC, the podium consisted of Masato Kawabata, who got knocked out, Daigo Saito in third place, who did not attend today, but he was a mechanic and supporting other members. And second place was Arkady Saragradzev, who also got knocked out earlier today. So a complete shuffle of the podium, none of the same people up there. So a pleasant surprise, as you said, seeing different faces, showing that drifting all around the world is evolving. Different people, different countries are evolving in different ways. And we have seen that here today at
I just
this
hope that
event.
Czech Republic will come next year stronger than ever.
Oh, we'll let them know.
He showed a great run. You showed a great run. I hope so.
We're waiting to see them. All right, so everyone, that is the end of the stream here today, the end of the event. Thank you very much for being here today. My name is Alexi Smith, otherwise known as Noriero on YouTube. I've been here with
David Collas from Czech Republic, international judge of Drift Masters, D1GP and other series.
And Cyrus Nozomu-Setna, bilingual announcer and MC from Tokyo, Japan. Gentlemen, it's been a real pleasure. And thank you all so much for listening. We hope to catch you at the very next FIA Intercontinental Cup Championship. Until then, take care and see ya.
See you next time.
See you.
おめでとうございます。
It's the time for the photography! Give them a huge smile!
おめでとうございます。受賞されましたゴーチャ選手に大きな拍手をお送りください。
Give him a huge round of applause!
それでは一旦ご講談ください。
Thank you very much, Gocha! Congratulations!
続きまして FIA インターコンチネンタルドリフティングカップ2018バトルトップ3の発表です。
Now we are announcing top 3 drivers of battle.
バトル第3位チャナッポン・ケードピアン S 選手です。
Third place is car number 45 S Chanapon Kedopian.
続いてバトル第2位イブ・メイエー選手。
Second place is Eve Meyer, car number 91 from Switzerland.
そしてバトル第1位ゴーチャ選手です。
And the first place, the winner of the battle is Gocha Georgi Chivchan from Russia.
おめでとうございます。
Congratulations!
FIA インターコンチネンタルドリフティングカップ2018第1位ギオルギー・チフチャン・ゴーチャ選手には JAF 一般社団法人日本自動車連盟八代隆義会長より JAF 盾と FIA トロフィーそして賞金100万円が贈られます。
So now the winner of the battle is awarded to by the Mr. Takayoshi Yashino, the President of Japan Automobile Federation, JAF. This is the trophy. Congratulations.
続きまして第2位のイブ・メイエー選手には JAF 盾と FIA トロフィーそして賞金50万円が贈られます。
So second place driver is awarded the trophy and the plate.
続きまして第3位のチャナッポン・ケードピアム S 選手には JAF 盾 FIA トロフィーそして賞金30万円が贈られます。
So third place is Chanapon will get the trophy and the awarding plate. Congratulations!
おめでとうございます。受賞されました選手に大きな拍手をお送りください。それでは FIA インターコンチネンタルドリフティングカップ2018優勝のゴーチャ選手の栄誉をたたえ国旗を掲揚いたします。会場の皆様関係者の皆様ご起立ご脱帽の上国旗にご注目ください。
So FIA Intercontinental Drifting Cup 2018 would like to honor the winner. Please stand up, take your hat off, and please pay attention to the flag. Russian anthem.
れではフォトセッションに移ります。
Now
ど
we
うぞ
would
皆
like to
様。
take a photographing time.
We're having a photograph session.
So please hold the trophy and awarding plate if possible, and big smile to the audience and the media. So れではまず目線を中央にお願いいたします。Look at the center first. Look at the center first. Big smile! Congratulations, guys! Then look at the left hand side, guys, please. それでは左手をご覧ください。Look at the left hand side. Smile! Smile! Yay! So look at the right hand side. 右側をご覧ください。Right hand side, big smile! さあ、ということで。
フォトセッションこれで終了とさせていただきます。
インタビューですね。素晴らしかったですね。
それでは受賞選手へインタビューを行ってまいります。ソロの受賞選手もどうぞステージにお残りください。さあということで。ではまずは、ソロ見事優勝されましたゴーチャ選手へインタビューを行いましょう。ソロそしてバトルでも1位を見事飾りましたゴーチャ選手へのインタビューです。
Please give them some words. How are you feeling right now? The Gocha.
Dima-san, по-японски? I translator. Yeah, I can Russian speaking. In English, go on. Dima, I can say Russian, he translates.
それではロシア語で行いますので、通訳さんがいらっしゃいますのでお待ちください。
Хочу отблагодарить всех, кто меня поддерживал сегодня. Спасибо.
応援してくれた皆さんにお礼したいと思います。ありがとうございました。
Мы к этой победе шли достаточно долго, были в Японии не один раз, гоняли, получали опыт, развивался я, развивалась моя команда. Мы этого добились большим трудом. С нами вместе была не только моя команда, но и еще много людей, которые просто нас поддерживали от души. Мы это очень ценим. Это наша общая победа.
この衣装まで結構長年かかりましてですね、何回もここ日本来ましてですね、そのトップ選手と走って勉強になり、いろいろその見習ったりして、ここまで来れてよかったと思います。でそしてそのわざわざその東洋ロシアから、応援に来てくれた皆さんにまた改めてお礼をしたいと思います。でそして僕だけじゃなくて、うちのチームもそしてその勉強しながらですね、そのチーム体制での優勝だと思います。
Congratulations! Thank you!
さあそれでは続いてはバトル第2位の結果を収めましたイブ・メイエ選手へのインタビューを行っていきたいと思います。今の気持ちを聞いてみましょう。
Yeah, so first of all, I have to say it's my first trophy in drifting. So I'm very excited, and I never was excited like that for a second place. And I really want to say thank you to my family, especially to my dad, which is always an idol for me, and also to my team like Kevo and Yumi, which is with us here in Japan on this amazing trip. And thank you all for having us, because it's so much fun to drive with you and fans and spectators, media and stuff and teams like you. Thank you all, man.
はい、まずはですね、初めて生まれて初めてのドリフトでのトロフィーをいただくことになりました。2位ですけれども、本当に優勝したかのように最高な気分でいます。本当に皆様に感謝したいと思います。まずお父さん、自分の父あそこにいるんですけれども、本当に僕のアイドルである彼のおかげで、ここまで来れたと思いますので感謝をしたいと思います。家族やチームのみんな、そして、相手ですね、皆さん一緒にドリフトさせてくださっているみんなにも大変感謝をしています。また、頑張ります。これからも頑張ります。どうぞよろしくお願いいたします。Thank you.
Congratulations, Siv. さあ続いては第3位の結果を収めました S 選手へのインタビューです。今の気持ちを聞いてみましょう。
Okay, first of all, I want to say thank you to the organizer for inviting us to join one of the best diff event in the world, and I want to say thank you to all the crew and my team, my sponsor, and my family. Today, my dream is come true. Thank you very much.
まずはですね、本当に今日は、ここに来れるのもすべてオーガナイザーの、方たちのためおかげだというふうに思っておりますので、この場を借りて大変感謝をしたいと思います。そしてですね、もちろん家族やチーム、すべて僕を応援してくださっているみんなのおかげで僕はここに来れたので、本当にありがとうございました。ファンの皆様もどうぞありがとうございました。またよろしくお願いいたします。
ありがとうございました。さあそれでは皆さんお待ちかねのシャンパンファイトに移りたいと思います。シャンパンはシャンパーニュジャカールの輸入会社であります国部グループ本社株式会社マーケティング開発部部長高橋則弘様より贈られます。皆様どうぞシャンパンをお持ちください。
The champagne will be presented by Mr. Norihiro Takahashi, General Manager of Marketing Group of Kokubu Group Corporation, the exclusive Japanese import of champagne Jakarta. So now we would like to take a photograph first. So please just hold the champagne first.
We would like to move on to the photo session first.
はい、それで写真撮影がまず始めとなります。Give them a big smile. Don't shake it yet.
Don't shake it. Don't shake it yet. Don't shake it yet. Don't shake it.
I love this cheeky smile. さあ、
高橋様ありがとうございました。
Shall we go?
それでは行きましょう。
Congratulations!
FIA Intercontinental Drifting Cup 2018! Everybody, congratulations! And where to go? Yeah! 以上をもちまして FIA インターコンチネンタルドリフティングカップ2018アワーディングセレモニーを終了いたします。皆様ありがとうございました。受賞された選手の皆さんに今一度大きな拍手をお送りください。
Give them a huge round of applause! Now finally we'd like to close the awarding ceremony of FIA Intercontinental Drifting Cup 2018. Thank you everyone! Thank you so much and congratulations!
FIA Intercontinental Drifting Cup 2018パートナーをご紹介いたします。
オフィシャルパートナー東洋タイヤ、スノコ、トネ、ターマックワークス、国部グループ本社株式会社。以上パートナーのご紹介でした。
Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you all enjoyed today
FIA Intercontinental Drifting Cup 2018, and hope you'll have a great time for the rest of the event.